The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Pop a squat, pop open a cold one with all of your friends. It is Wednesday night, it's a couple of hairs past 10 p.m., and you've been granted access to the uncensored and uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock. So, whether you're a friend or you're a fiend, boy, girl, or in between, you are tuned in to a brand new episode of The Black Files.
That's right. Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are keeping. I hope you guys are keeping cool tonight on Wednesday, June 19th. This one is going to be a
Juneteenth to those who celebrate.
Yes, happy Juneteenth to those who celebrate it. Yes, and you know what? I guess I'll say this right now. Not to stoke the flames a little bit, but like I'm really getting annoyed by people who are complaining that like employees should be given a day off on this federal holiday because it's Juneteenth. I'm like, dude, just let them. Like, I don't know.
No, give us the day off.
Yeah, give them the day off. Like,
yeah, the only thing is the federal government has to actually declare it as a national holiday.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Ugh.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, I suppose. But you know what? It's just a matter of time at this point. I figure that the way I figure it is that just give it time, and we'll get it made into a proper federal holiday where we actually get the days off and all that good jazz. Give it time. I hate saying that kind of thing, but that's the only thing we can do. Welcome, folks, to the Black Files. I am your host, Juan Arauz, one of the heads of the Ravens Flock, the tech guru of the team. I'm the guy who just now remembered that I'm going to need to get the little microphones that we've got, the little microphones for streaming. I don't need to get them ready for charging because we are, if I'm reading the the calendar right, and I know that I'm not, we're 2 weeks away from MetroCon 2024, and we're going to need to have those microphones all charged up and rearing to go. So, I am worried. But thankfully, I'm not sweating it because I am surrounded by our usual suspects. First off, let's go ahead and say hello to the lovely ladies of the Ravens Flock. We got xeiana Rose and Dragon Fang cosplay.
Hey guys! Hi guys!
Pleasure to have you here.
Our minds are melted.
Yeah, our minds are a little bit broke right now.
I feel like going to bed right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reading.
It hurts. I'm so sorry.
Oh, a lot of bullshit reading.
It's true.
This is bullshit.
And speaking of bullshit, unfortunately, our brother from another mother, Angel Mendez, could not join us on this week's episode of The Black Files. He is stuck. He is stuck in the...
He was taken away from us at an early age.
He was so young.
No, he's not...
Sometimes at night, sometimes when I go to bed at night,
he's only dead inside.
Guys, sometimes when I go to bed...
That's the same thing.
Sometimes when I go to bed at night, I can still hear Angel's voice trolling us from the great beyond.
And the gentleman who's...
Can you hear him saying...
What was that?
Can you hear him still saying... You.
Yeah, I could hear it whispering in the corridors of my mind. And thankfully, someone else who's got a much clearer and wider corridor is the head of the Ravens Flock, the founder of our team, executive producer and content manager of our channel, and the host of our flagship show, The Ravens Flock, live every Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and Wrestle Rewind live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Give it up for Mr. Jose Casabona!
Thank you very much for that warm introduction. Happy to be here tonight with all my friends, and happy to be here with all our viewers watching right now. And don't worry, Jesse and Jackie. I mean, don't worry, Xeiana Rose and Dragon Fang. I'm also...
K-Fang,
nope, that never happened. Downplay the negatives.
Nope, that's not how it works, brother.
Yes, it is. Now, I am. I'm there with you in this fight. I am. This This feels like I'm back in college. I feel like I'm back in college writing a report is what I'm doing.
Research paper, anyone?
That's exactly what it was. It was a research paper, and I think we all flunked.
Dying.
I think we all flunked. It wasn't a matter of if we can do
to
it.
get to the deadline.
Yeah, it's not a matter of if we can make it, we can make it. It's if we can make it with our souls intact.
No, that never happens.
That never fucking happens. Jose, why don't you go ahead and do us a favor and take care of the usual housekeeping here, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, no problem. With like all our other shows, folks, we are simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe or the follow button at the bottom right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable notifications. Leave your questions and comments below. We'll answer as many as we can. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens flock, then you can become an inner flocker. For $4.99 a month, you'll have access to all the perks that comes with our membership. Juan, tell them.
Well, for all the inner flockers we've got in our chat, and I know we have plenty, go ahead and show off those lovely membership badges and custom emojis letting everyone know that you're here to rescue the Ravens flock from the clutches of late-stage capitalism to become full-time streamers. Since 2013, we've been working hard and staying strong to make your voice our mission by providing you guys the deeper insight into the world of nerd and pop culture. And the one thing that's keeping us from being able to continue doing this in the manner and in the volume that you deserve is the fact that we have to maintain our 9-to-5 jobs. So, but if you can help us get around that by helping us make this channel our 9-to-5 jobs, then that will go a long ways, and you'll see an exciting and incredible improvement to the quantity and quality of our programming. And
our channel is awesome as it is. We stream 4 shows every single week, and we have an amazing and engaging audience tuning in every time that we go live. And we are 100% transparent and to the point, and we don't hold back and we don't pull our punches when it comes to giving our opinions on what we discuss.
Exactly, and that's the kind of engaging entertainment and educational content that you guys really would benefit from. We've got our program here, The Black Files, which is your in-depth looks into the world of nerd and pop culture, and this is popular culture that we're discussing tonight, whether we like it or not. We've also got our Los Amigos Play, which is our frenetic and hilarious little Let's Play show. We've got Wrestle Rewind for those of you who are pro wrestling fans, where we recap 3 professional wrestling programs in one show. And of course, our main show, The Ravens Flock, where we cover all of the hottest news in the world of nerd and geek culture. So we want to continue being able to provide this for you and much more. If you're able to help us spread the word of the Ravens flock, help us spread the word of our channel. So with your help, we can and will succeed in being able to make this the best it can be. Along with a membership, you get members first and members only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description below, and you also get access to us, the Ravens flock, your favorite motley crew of nerds, here to make your voice our mission by providing us your thoughts, your input, your feedback, and your ideas to better shape the future of this channel to suit your tastes and needs. We've got Shamanistic Unicorn Tam, Lisa Boo, Kurisi Rando Sama, Mr. Quake, Genie Rick, let's see here, and Nikki Bella holding it down, and I see Genie Rick went ahead and started the night off right with a $1.99 super sticker!
Yay!
Holy crap, unbelievable. It's the big purple heart that says thanks. Well, thank you, Genie Rick. You're setting an excellent example for everyone here, letting everyone know that, you know, you can support us in this way, and all it really does is help us out with not starving while we're out at conventions, but also at the same time we want to be able to grow this channel by growing more and having more people tune into it and having more people jump in and discuss what we're talking about here. Also, hey up, Matthew Coburn's in the chat. Hey up, Matthew Coburn. Welcome to the Black Files. We appreciate your face. Thank you so much for joining us. Man, we're just barely getting started with the show, and I gotta tell you, I am not sure that I'm up to it tonight, guys. I'm not sure that I'm really up to the challenge. Jose, what do you think I ought to do?
Okay, listen. I'm going to be honest with you, Juancho. Politics is an ugly subject. It is a dicey subject. It exposes everyone's beliefs and their ideals on social media, and it divides us as a nation. And for us to do this, like, if you're going to tackle this topic, Juan, what you're going to need is dedication. Mm-hmm. You're going to need focus. But most importantly, you're going to need a dose of energy.
You know what? You're absolutely right, Jose. Thankfully, we've got that covered here. Since I've gotten my in my cup a little more of our wonderful partner at Glytch Energy. I've actually got tonight. I've got the Hydration Revive formula up in here, the blackberry lemonade.
That's right, folks. Glytch Energy is the ideal beverage for all geeks and nerds to keep our bodies vitalized and supercharged for any form of activity, whether it be physical or whether it be something as draining as covering politics. As you can see, Juan is like Juan says, he's downing down some Glytch Revive of blackberry lemonade blends. And if you go onto glitchenergy.com, you'll see that they have a variety, a huge selection of different combination blends to choose from, and they're coming out with new flavors every week.
You're not wrong about that, Jose. I kid you not, these guys came out with a brand new flavor earlier today. Can I show them the new flavor? May I show our audience the new flavor of Glytch? You're going to lose your mind.
Yes.
Folks, Glytch Energy proudly presents a throwback to one of their original experiments in flavor, Glytch Energy's Loopy Fruits. Apparently,
oh my gosh.
Apparently, this is, I shit you not, inspired by a certain breakfast cereal that it may or may not be multiple colored and little loops of oats and grains and stuff, and they're colored and they're part of a balanced breakfast. Like this.
You beat me to it! Damn it, Juan!
What?
I wanted to make that joke.
No, like that's not even it. Like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said too late.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, Jose.
Don't worry about it. Continue.
Like, I shit you not, I lost my mind when these guys went ahead and announced this as their brand new flavor for the week, and I gotta tell you, I'm seriously mortified because I'm curious now. Like, it's even saying here, it's backed by popular demand. Hashtag GlitchFam. Bring back the glory days of endless video game sessions and fruity cereal binges with Loopy Fruits, the energy drink that fuses the flavors of your childhood with a powerful glitch-powered punch. Our improved formula delivers the delicious taste you crave, along with a smooth, energizing boost to keep you performing at your best. And apparently, these guys legitimately say, hey, no, try it with milk for this one. Whether you're studying, gaming, or just craving a taste of nostalgia, Loopy Fruits is the perfect combination to help you make the most out of your day. Mix it with ice-cold milk for a creamy, indulgent twist on the classical cereal experience. Recapture your inner child and tackle life's challenges with the power of Loopy Fruits. Yeah! Oh my freaking god! This is insane! The absolute mad lads, they kept this secret from me, okay? I didn't know that this was going to come out today. No one told us anything. Like, we're on a Discord server, and nobody told me anything. They were like, oh no, Juan, it's a surprise. You're gonna love it. I'm like, I'm scared. Why am I gonna love it? Like, tell me why. Like, no. And just like keeping with our principles of being transparent with our stances and our perspectives and opinions, these guys at Glytch are transparent with their formulation. They tell you everything that's in their smart energy formula here. They show you the different ingredients. And what's great about all this is that their special smart energy blend keeps you running strong all day long with zero sugar, zero carbs, 0 calories, and 0 crash. Jose, though, you know what the best part about all this is, don't you?
Well, of course, the best part all about this is flavor. We want something that tastes really great. We want something that leaves a long impression for our taste buds. And as I mentioned earlier, with these different blends, different varieties to choose from, you'll have the opportunity to, what was I going to say? To indulge in the flavor of Glytch. And if you go onto their website, glitchenergy.com, and use our promo code FlockFuel, you'll receive a 20% discount on your order.
You're damn right over here, Jose, and you're not wrong when it comes to the variety of their flavoring. I'm still pining over getting our hands on neon sugar. I don't know how many more hints I need to drop at our buddies at Glytch. I want to be where the sugar is. I want to taste some cotton candy.
Oh my
Mix
god!
it up
All
in
right,
one of my, what do you call them? Oh,
Bugs.
cups.
you dork. We of course want to thank Glitch Energy for partnering with the Ravens Flock. You've been so kind. You've been so awesome. I'm curious as to know what other flavor is going to come next. I mean, I hope this isn't the end of the cereal box trend.
No, Jose.
Hopefully
Apparently,
there's a mystery flavor.
wait, what? Where's there a mystery flavor? What are you talking about?
I want the mystery flavor.
You
Oh
want?
no, they want them to come out with a mystery flavor one. You know, kind of like Dum Dums.
Oh, that would be so metal. That would be
What's
so
the-
crazy.
We don't know.
Exactly.
It's a mystery.
All right.
I still want a tub of neon sugar. I'm not stopping. But for real though,
I know.
You know, if they send
But
us
unfortunately-
the loopy fruits over here, I won't say no because I'm curious and I want to know. Can you show me? I want to know about these strangers like me, okay? And please, for the love of God, Glitch, hook a brother up. You guys are dropping the ball with the Ravens Flock. Come on, help us out.
All right. Well, unfortunately, Juancho, we do need to shift gears because now we have to go to a topic that will leave a bitter taste in all our mouths.
Do I have to? Do I have to? God!
No, we have to.
Can we take a rain check?
Y'all were the ones who brought this up in our chat, ladies. I was trying like hell to avoid having to talk about this stupid thing. I swear to Bob, I really didn't want to. But you know what?
I mean,
Fine.
I know. We could be talking about Justin Timberlake getting arrested.
I know, right?
But boys, we had to read it so everyone else doesn't have to trudge through 920 pages of absolute bullshittery.
Yeah. All right, Juancho.
Vomit.
You might as well
Can I
begin.
actually
What's up?
say, I noticed that when we were reading this, it seemed like the first 2 pages are just textbook definitions of whatever they're talking about first. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
That is bizarre.
I have noticed that.
Most of what I read was just textbook definition. Oh, this is what happens. This is what I'm like. Okay, can you get to what you want to do? Please.
Yeah, no kidding. Like it's almost like they're trying to make it sound more academic than it actually is.
Textbook.
Real quick, Tam Tam was asking, are Glitch Energy based in California? No, they're based here in Florida. Actually, we just can't. They just can't. They just can't like get everything out right away because they're the way they manufacture is they only are able to come up with so many batches at a time when it comes to the getting a hold of the ingredients based on the costs of everything at this moment. They're trying to keep the cost for everything as low as possible while still maintaining enough of a profit to operate. So they're only able to put out like limited runs, limited batches of stuff. I hope that answers your question.
That makes it so that it's freshly made.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, it's a
Now that's
limited
right
rate.
off the bat.
Like, listen, Saturday night, when we were wrapping up the Ravens Flock, I mentioned to everyone as we were doing our show call outs and everything, what we were going to be discussing this week on the Black Files. And you saw Angel was with us. You could see the light draining from his eyes the moment I mentioned it. You could see the life escaping off into the great beyond. Imagine being able to astral project your entire soul, not just an image, but like your entire soul just gone, and leave your body there for just a few moments in order to operate. That was Angel. When we went off air,
404.
exactly. Like it was not fun. It was not fun for him at all. He does not like being able to having to discuss this stuff because, namely, it dredges up a lot of bad drama amongst people. And he doesn't feel like we should dip our toes into politics. Namely, in order to keep ourselves a little bit more appealing. As a matter of fact, once we actually had the discussion about this after the show, this is well as Angel's reaction. If you guys would see on the screen here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, you may be wondering, hey, doesn't this look exactly like that one shot from the Raiders of the Lost Ark where the evil Nazi dude just melts in front of the fire of the Ark of the Covenant and is burnt away? The answer is yes. It looks exactly like that. You see, Angel pulled out a fedora. He went ahead and took some cooking oil on my stove, had it catch fire, and he stood right in front of it because he needed to feel something. He was so numb to it that he needed to feel alive and vibrant. And unfortunately, the fire of the cooking oil was too much, and it melted his face. Angel will be back Saturday, though. He'll be okay.
Okie dokie.
No, he'll be fine. No, I'm fucking kidding.
Fine.
I say this shit because I care. And Angel knows for a fact we're not actually fucking with him to deride him or anything. But truthfully, we are gonna go ahead and discuss this, folks. And I'm gonna give you guys one obligatory disclaimer. Yeah, we're talking politics. Yeah, we're showing our biases, but we're also trying to present this information to you as clear-cut as possible, as objective as possible when it comes to definitions of the type of wordplay these guys use in this documentation, so that you can understand what they're trying to hide in between these 920 pages of absolute maddening horse crap. So, take it with a grain of salt. Not take it with a grain of salt. Take our attitude in stride. We've been at this for 3.5 days straight. Please give us some grace here. All right, guys.
It hurts. Should we also give the definition from 2 different sources?
Yes.
Before we start?
I was going to say maybe we should hold off on that until we actually get to the discussion.
No, we're getting to the discussion now, Jose. We're starting now.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So this is so that we don't forget it and people can actually know what the definition actually is. So
now, for those who may or may not know what exactly we're talking about, Project 2025, also officially known as the Presidential Transition Project, is basically a playbook that was put together by the Heritage Foundation, which is a extremely right-leaning conservative think tank group, where basically these guys are the ones who come up with different policy ideas for how they believe conservatives and members of the Republican Party ought to legislate and ought to bring up legislation all the way down from like city and local levels all the way up to the federal government. And this right here is specifically their guide, their playbook should the Republican Party win the U.S. presidency this year on November 5th, 2024 on Election Day. So I'm letting you guys know right now, this stuff is exceptionally heavy, and one thing that that has been on the lips and tongues and minds living rent-free in a lot of conservative circles is woke. Basically, everything that that folks who align themselves as conservative, especially the really extremist, very loud, very like fucking obnoxious form of being conservative, basically saying like that everything that's wrong with this country is because it's all woke. The wokes are destroying the world with all the wokings, and the wokings are woking up and everything woke. I kid you not. I have seen so many different little videos over the last few months of like town halls and news interviews of people asking these kind of guys, can you define what woke means? And every single time, without fail, without any fucking hesitation. Every single one of them does a freaking tap dance, a verbal freaking samba. Like, well, it's all this and that. Oh, well, you see, it's actually a Marxism thing, and you see, it's actually a cultural Marxism, and they're trying to Marxist the communists, the Marxism, and the fascism of all the wokes because of
we're not asking about your opinion. We're asking for your definition, sir.
Yeah, exactly. We would like a definition. Thankfully.
Very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
But no, they gotta skirt around that question all the time.
As if there's something dirty or as if there's something wrong with having a clear-cut definition for what the fuck the term actually means. If you need to, yeah, exactly. Like the Matthew Cobra, like, this is woke, that is woke, while being just as woke. Like, even worse. It's like, okay, like the ladies over here, how's it going over here, Struggler? Welcome to the Black Files. You're saying, what's good, Flockers? I have a definition about that. All right, I would be happy to hear your definition of the term woke. Thankfully, we do have like objective fucking definitions provided by Merriam-Webster's and Collins dictionaries over here. Thank you, xeiana and Dragonfang, by the way, for reminding me that we've got dictionaries online. So we can So
some people need a dictionary thrown at their faces.
No kidding.
Yes, they do.
So just as an example, here in the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of the term woke, chiefly U.S. slang. Definition 1A, aware of and actively attentive to important societal facts and issues, especially issues of racial and social justice. And here's an example. But we will only, an example sentence, but we will only succeed if we reject the growing pressure to retreat into cynicism and hopelessness. We have a moral obligation to stay woke, take a stand and be active, challenging injustices and racism in our communities and fighting hatred and discrimination wherever it rises. That's a quote by Barbara Lee. See, like, there's one fucking example right there. It's so easy. It's so fucking easy. Like, there was another bit on here, often used in context that suggests someone's expressed beliefs about such matters are not backed with genuine concern or action. One example of something by Lauren Sanchez. There is never really a moment where a person of color doesn't have to deal with discrimination, whether it be veiled and passive or as blunt as possible. So, woke white people, why can't you step in? You know, and let's see, another one's from Soraya Walters. Quote, fake woke behavior arises. We put the hashtags on our social media. Hashtag say her name, hashtag I can't breathe, hashtag Black Lives Matter, and repeat. The problem is the level of concern we express online doesn't match the everyday behavior we exhibit. There's some definitions. Definition 1B. Reflecting the attitudes of woke people. Here's definition 2. In the disapproving manner, politically liberal or progressive, as in matters of social and racial justice, especially in a way that is considered unreasonable or extreme. So this is probably where this is where the conservative side of folks would like to lean on the definition of what woke is. For example, from Shadi Hamid, the National Conservatives use today's liberals as woke cultural warriors who pose an existential threat to the nation and its traditions. And another one over here, Victor Ricolaitis. Quote, woke capitalism tends to be a term that critics use to refer to portfolios are built around environmental, social, and governance issues like climate change or diversity. See, like, there's definitions! We can get them! Why are these guys who tout that everything that's wrong with America is the wokeness, why can't they just spit this out? Somebody tell me. I would like to know. Did Struggler respond here? No, not yet. Also, X-Men Forever's in the chat. Hey up, X-Men Forever. Welcome to the Black Files. We appreciate you joining us over here. So, yeah. Help me the fuck out. Someone. Ladies, Jose.
Simple. They're simple. They're trying to control. Simple. They want to control their narrative, and they only want to tell the people what they want to say.
And they want to control what the general public believes woke means, rather than pointing to what it actually fucking means. It's right here. It's right. Literally, it's just right here.
And it's easy for them to go ahead and dismiss it and call that piece of information either nonsense or misleading or, I don't know, insert unintelligent woke quote here.
I would very much like to see a proper, see one of these politicians give a proper response that doesn't do a whole tap dance of scaremongering, oh well, yeah, it deals with all the transes and all the gays, and it deals with all this feminism and all the cultures and all the blacks and all this blah, blah, blah. So basically anything that isn't straight white Christian men is woke. What the fuck are you even saying? That's there's more to America than just they'll fucking tap dance around, and when you parse out what they try to spit out, it sounds extremely fucking racial. It sounds extremely homophobic and discriminatory against women, discriminatory against basically everyone else under the sun who isn't a straight white Christian man. I'm like, someone help me the fuck out. How is their definition any better? You've got one right here.
It's not, but they're expecting their people. It's not, but they're expecting the American people to buy into what they say.
I kid you not, you're not wrong here, Jose. Struggler, there we go.
We know it's not better.
Struggler, actually, thank you here. Even you Struggler here, the second definition is the one that I would use, you would use it for. There are those who use social change as a weapon while being as performative as possible. That's what, that's the bit on there. There's gonna be bad faith actors, people being, people who are cynical in trying to latch on to actually being woke and actually being aware and trying to bring about proper social change. Then there are going to be people who are performative in that respect just as easily as there are people who are performative in their conservative values, in being libertarian, or even there's going to be assholes just trying to jump on the gravy train for the sake of getting catching some of that clout, some of that popularity, rather than actually putting the work in. So I can respect Struggler leaning on the second definition of the term, and okay, thank you. I can appreciate that, and I can appreciate you, Struggler, specifically being concerned with people using social justice and social awareness as a cudgel just for optics rather than putting in the work. Case in point. Actually, I'll save my example for the end of the show because I do have a proper example of people being performative as fuck, but we need to get to this. All right, so Project 2025, the Presidential Transition Project, these fucking guys, it's been catching a lot of steam lately, basically because folks are now trying to read this game plan, and buried in the bits and pieces of this 920-page PDF file, this document, this playbook, is fucking horrible. We split this up. It came in 5 specific sections here of where they want to actually affect change on the federal level here, and I'll show you guys the actual.
Go ahead and show them, but I also want to point out that, in this time period right now, it's important that the people know that right now, our ex-president Donald Trump has already been tried, convicted, and he's found guilty on all accounts, and his sentencing is scheduled for July 11th. So I figured we should put that in there, put a pin on that, put that in there.
So just reminding folks, by the way, Donald Trump, who is the presumptive Republican nominee for the presidential candidacy, is in fact a convicted felon. So yeah, there's that. Just a reminder. Okay, appreciate that, Joe. I'm trying to pull up the frickin'. Did I pass the table of contents? Okay, let me just show you guys here. All right, just as an example. Here is the freaking first bits of it. I was trying to scrub through and find all this nonsense and this mess. Section 1, taking the reins of government. Jose covered that. Section 2, that's my piece, the common defense. So basically everything involving national security and international relations. Section 3, the general welfare. This is what we were trying to pass to Angel to help us out with, hence the face melting. Section 4, I believe I passed that to Dragonfang, and Section 5 went to xeiana.
Flip that. Flip it. Flip it. I'm 5.
Okay, xeiana has Section 4, the economy, and Dragonfang has the independent regulatory agency, Section 5. Okay, gotcha. Dear God, we don't wish this kind of reading to our worst enemies, okay? I don't want to fucking curse anyone with this kind of fucking homework, but here we fucking are. So
I would have rather read the dictionary.
Yeah, from front to back. At least you could gain more knowledge.
Exactly. But you know what? That's actually kind of the message that we've got here when it comes to this particular topic, because it just reminds me of 3 simple words. Something that was drilled into my head. Thank you, AJ's Time Travelers. I know you remember that old-ass show from Saturday morning on NBC, right, Jose?
Yes, very vaguely, but I know what you're talking about.
3 very simple words. Scientiae potentia. Knowledge is power. We are doing this tonight because we believe that people ought to be educated, that people ought to know what these think tanks and these different political action groups are trying to disseminate to actual politicians in order to get their way. Now, because the devil's in the details. Buried in those 920 pages is a lot of radical shit. They want to say, like, folks like who authored this. Let me show you their acknowledgement over here. How many fucking different organizations did they connect with? Let me show you guys here. This is horrifying. Let's see. The Alabama Policy Institute, Alliance Defending Freedom, American Compass, the American Conservative, American First Legal Foundation, American all of these are different Republican / conservative think tank groups and special interest groups. There's
so many of them.
Basically, all of these threw in to have this document whipped up. Look at this shit. Okay, Hillsdale College, Liberty University, which, by the way, for the record, folks, remember, it's not actually a real university, and neither is PragerU, but that's not important right now because they're not important. It's going to be nuts over here. So, I believe we'll go ahead and start at the beginning. It's the best place to begin, right? Let me see in the chat before I go on here. Let's see here. Struggler is saying, Struggler is here in the chat. I'm very much a liberal man and I want fairness for all, but there are bad actors who push extremists, dare I say even Marxists, that ultimately make social change not only harder but worse. Let's see here. And X-Men Forever was saying, arrested for fraud. What? Hold on, what? Who was arrested? Oh yeah, Donald Trump was arrested for fraud. Yeah, and he was tried for it. None of their money went to the black community. I get a lot of people angry with Mr. being biracial, half Puerto Rican on my mom's side, and half white on my half white and black on my dad's side, because I'm not blind to fraud when I see it. Okay, I see what you mean. I get what you're talking about there. Let me take a look over here. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll give you guys our findings, our summary on this. And we'll start off with Section 1 being their the first part of their little grand master plan. So, Jose, I leave it to you to get into this with them. So, Section 1, taking the reins of government.
You got this.
No. My summary is not long. It's to the point, so I'll get straight to it. All right. Pretty much, to save you guys the trouble of reading all this, Section 1 is a complete and detailed breakdown of different positions and management bodies of the White House. Not necessarily an outline of the job description and responsibilities, but more of a guideline on what is to be expected from the conservatives' administration should their president-elect, aka Trump, win this year's election. They are less concerned about the qualifications for these positions and are focused on looking for individuals who are loyal to the president's agenda and will carry out the agenda on a daily basis. The entire section has a large emphasis on delegation. Different figureheads of the White House office and executive office of the president, and establishing several councils. All these different councils who all report to the president on all the policy priorities. Like, I'm not kidding. When I read through this and I read all the different responsibilities or like expectations of these councils, like sometimes it feels like I'm reading the same thing.
So they're adding redundancy, like the redundancy department, while saying that they're slashing redundancies. Go fucking figure.
It feels redundant. It feels repetitive. Like the expectations of the White House Policy Council, of course, is to move swiftly to counter certain issues, such as, quote, attacks on life and religious liberty, confronting wokeism, enforcing immigration laws, and countering the nation of China. I do want to point out that while I was assigned to reading Section 1, the nation of China has been referenced more than once, and the conservatives are pretty much painting them as like their number one enemy. And if you want proof of this, like even if you go to like the introductory section of the article, like the introduction to this document, like pretty much like the conservatives address the concerns of today's America and how it is ruined by inflation, deaths caused by drug overdose, and a quote, toxic normalization of transgenderism with drag queens and pornography exposed to children, to which that part is incredibly incorrect and highly exaggerated. The nation of China is referenced several times in this entire document, with conservatives claiming that China is gearing up for a war against the United States.
Would you like to know how many separate times in the entire document they refer to China here?
Tell us.
Dig this. I shit you not, I just did the freaking search on it. 483 separate times. They mention China as in general, and then from there, every single in every one of the mentions on there, it basically brings up how China itself is like an existential threat to democracy worldwide. So
yep, that was in the economy a lot, to the point where one of the many chapters in there, all I wrote was, all in all, China bad.
Yep.
Like, okay, you wrote that too? You really wrote that too?
Yeah, thanks.
Oh my fucking god! Like, I set up a Google Doc over here on my end. I have the freaking parentheses under it, like section 2, the common defense. China bad, woke bad, Merca good.
Yeah.
That's all. Like,
no.
Oh my god! Like it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It is fucking embarrassing. Yeah, no. It's so ridiculous. And there is one section I do want to read off, not from a summary, but from the document. And Juancho, while I'm doing this, can you do me a favor?
What page?
No, it's on page. Officially in the document is on page 62. But what I want you to do, I would like for you to look up Google search Executive Order 14020.
Give me a second.
While I read this, there is a passage that describes the expectations and responsibilities for, I kid you not, the Gender Policy Council, and it goes like this:
What?
The president should immediately revoke Executive Order 14020 and every policy, including sub-regulatory guidance documents, production on behalf of or related to the establishment of promotion of the Gender Policy Council and its subsidiary issues. Abolishing the Gender Policy Council would eliminate central promotion of abortion, comprehensive
quote,
sexuality,
health services.
Yep, comprehensive sexuality education,
quote, education,
and the new woke gender ideology, which has a principal tenet, quote, gender affirming care and, quote, sex change surgeries on minors. In addition to eliminating the council, Developing new structures and positions will have the dual effect of demonstrating that promoting life and strengthening the family is a priority while also facilitating more seamless coordination and consistency across the U.S. government. Specifically, the president should appoint a position/point of contact with the rank of special assistant to the president or higher to coordinate and lead the president's domestic priorities on issues related to life and family in cooperation with the Domestic Policy Council. This position would be responsible for facilitating meetings, discussions, and agreements among personnel, coordinating administration policy, and ensuring agency support for implementation on policies related to the promotion of life and family in the United States.
Yeah, and I found it over here, by the way, Executive Order 14020, the Executive Order on Establishment of the White House Gender Policy Council. And this was put out March 8th, 2021 by President Joe Biden. And basically, this was to have a actual council for putting together proper policy in promoting healthy relations between people who are transgendered, who are people who are establishing themselves in the LGBTQ community, and trying to help in promote. Here's another thing: support gender equity and combat gender stereotypes and education, including promotion, participation in science, technology, engineering, and maths fields. Promote gender equity in leadership, increase access to comprehensive health care, address health disparities, and promote sexual reproductive health and rights, empower girls, and prevent and respond to all forms of gender-based violence, address responses to the effect of the coronavirus disease COVID-19 on women and girls, especially those related to health, gender-based violence, educational access and attainment, and economic status. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to link, folks, this on your own time, on your own dime. You are more than welcome to and free to read this on your own. So
everything that you just listed off there, Juancho. Nah, fuck that shit. The conservatives want to fucking overturn that.
Basically, all of this gone. Bye bye. Goddamn. Let me take a look at the chat while we continue. Before we continue, let's see here. X-Men Forever. I know right from wrong. I have friends who ended friendships with me when I didn't go along with the Palestinian marches on college campuses. Okay, that's really sad. That's fucked up. Of course you're welcome to your opinion on it. And we've got ours on that. But I'm hoping that they're not just being assholes for the sake of it. I don't know exactly where you stand on it. I'm not going to judge anyone right now. That's not the point. But the point is, oh, hey, by the way, these kind of executive orders for establishing these kind of councils in order to have a say when it comes to gender equity and gender equality, not just for folks who are folks who are women, but also folks who are femme presenting, folks who are transgender, and in order to help promote proper relationships here, let me see exactly. Children, no mention here. Kids, no. It only mentions the term transgender once in the entirety of the executive order. There's no mention of there being any children, or when it comes to girls, let's see here, 8 times, including women and girls. This is more along the lines of promoting health and coordination for women and girls.
Adults.
So where the fuck in this nonsense over here, where is all this talking about sex change surgeries on minors? I would like to see that brought up. Where is it? Okay, sexual harassment. Let's see here. Sexual reproductive health and rights. Gay, bisexual. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have the term gender 36 times in this. So let me see exactly if there's any gender affirming or gender reassignment involved in this. No. There's no disparities. No. Yeah, no, there's literally no mention of fucking, like, sex change surgeries on minors in here. So, what the fuck are you pulling out? This is just on page 62 of their document. Just as a little example. They're bringing
like you said, the devil's in the details, and it's in plain fucking sight.
Like, I'm sorry, guys. We're pulling up the references in all this, and we're pulling up what this is referring to, supposedly, and we're trying to find out what all this is meant to be. We're abolishing it for these reasons. I'm like, okay, let me look at what you're trying to abolish it for. Huh, okay, turns out it doesn't mention any of the shit you said in your document to begin with. So what the fuck, Starscream? Let me look at the chat. Holy crap. Let me see.
Are we all right? Are we good?
Hang on a minute. Okay. Ow, fuck. Okay, I see what's going on, X-Men Forever. I'm gonna leave that discussion between them in the chat, between Mr. Quake and X-Men Forever. Basically, X-Men Forever has friends and family members who are Jewish, and they're supportive of them, and their friends are automatically being like, well, you're not like shitting on them or something like that. And yeah, no, that's much more personal. I'm not gonna mess with it. Like, Struggler's saying, if anything, this policy should help with gender equivalency. The thing is, that's what the executive order itself is already set up for. And the Project 2025 bit is saying, oh, we need to dissolve that and completely revoke it. But if what we're trying to do is to promote the family, strengthening the family as a priority,
promoting life,
doesn't, having the input and having equal treatment for women and girls who are, a part of the family, isn't that kind of a good thing? Isn't that going towards the same goal that supposedly is being brought into it? Yeah, no, like, I was what I was saying, Struggler, is that I was bringing up how how they tried to say that the woke gender ideology in the document is the principal reason why they want this executive order completely taken out. Because all it's really doing is promoting abortion and promoting woke gender ideology and sex changes on minors. We looked at this document. We looked at the executive order. There's no mention of sexual reassignment surgeries in minors. In every mention of the word girls, it was in recognition of women and girls for protection against gender-based violence. There was no mention of gender reassignment surgeries. There was no mention of specifically like doing sex changes on minors in this executive order. So what the fuck? Where are these guys pulling it from? Out of thin air, out of their ass. All right, and like if we're all for, like, oh well, if they want to argue about, oh well, like they really try to promote abortion and hiding it as health services. You mean to tell me we shouldn't have comprehensive health care for everyone in our country? That we shouldn't have that kind of access? So you're saying that you want to ban abortion? So the real reason why you want to dissolve the the policy council and eliminate that executive order is so that we don't have education and implementation of assistance for women and for young girls who might be harmed in gender-based violence, or being able to promote gender equity in their leadership, or being able to promote having more equity for women and for girls in our country. Because that's a bad thing. for looking at this shit black and white, clear as crystal on this. You folks are welcome to see this all they want, but this doesn't address that at all. This executive order has nothing to do with what supposedly they want to remove the executive order for. But if you look at what the executive order is actually for, then seeing these guys wanting to remove it shows you their intent. I'm looking at it as a freaking regular ass guy, a regular ass like freaking red-blooded American Latino guy from New York living in Florida who likes ladies and who likes boobies and stuff and who likes Star Wars and who likes anime. I'm just a regular fucking dude, all right? And I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, okay, this is the shit they're saying is in that executive order, and they want to get rid of it for. Here's what's actually in the executive order. Since it doesn't mention what these guys are claiming they want to revoke the order for, but they still want to revoke the order, then perhaps they actually want to revoke the order for what the order actually does, which is to help promote equity and equality in human rights and fucking like access to health outcomes and education for women and for young girls, whether they're gay, straight, bi, transgender, agendered, asexual, whatever the fuck. So help me the fuck out, someone, anyone.
Nah, fuck that shit. They want to set us back decades because it's all about the simple mentality of two genders, and they want to promote life, and they want to promote. Actually, no, I can't do it. It doesn't warrant a Vin Diesel voice. No, it doesn't warrant it. No, this does not deserve a Vin Diesel voice.
I think that they were hoping that people wouldn't actually go and look up what actually is in the executive order, and they're hoping that just by saying, things that they know people will get angry about, that they will just automatically believe that that's what's in the order. So they will just go along with that instead of actually doing their research.
Like we're
research
doing right
is important.
Now.
Mm-hmm. Fact check.
Yeah, exactly. And if you take this into consideration, not every person in the United States does their research. So these jerk-off conservatives are banking on the American people to take what they say at face value.
Because why would they lie? Right fucking here. We've got a reason why they would fucking lie. Jose, what else have you got for me in that first section over here? Or was that all you got?
Unfortunately, that's really all I got in terms of my summary, man, because, oh my god, it's so much.
All right, I guess I'll go into my section over here, and I'll try and, like I said, I wasn't able to. I'm leveling with you guys 100%. With Angel face melting, not being able to be available this whole week except for maybe Saturday. Like I had to pick up his section, and with everything that I've been dealing with in terms of, trying not to die and trying to do my regular 9-to-5 job without fucking wanting to liquefy my brains already as it is, I was barely able to get anything done out of my research in Section 2. And so to say nothing
I think that you can do is maybe, Rex, like we can do another thing of just the 400-page one, which is like the biggest thing. Yeah. Because I think that one would deserve its own little night.
What's the 400-page one thing? What do you mean?
That's one that Angel's supposed to have.
That was Angel's big thing.
Shit. You think we ought to split that as like its own separate time? All right.
Yeah. Yes, just because
there is a lot of information to cover just in that section.
And there's probably a lot of things that we're going to have to fact check in that one as well. So I honestly think, we already did 1. We're going to do 2, which is yours. And then we would do 4 and 5. So I think that 3 should be its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Section 3, the general welfare there. Okay. In that case, we'll just go ahead and we'll jump over to my section of the section 2, the common defense. You see, these guys, they try to frame themselves so constitutional and so patriotic and so they organized their little playbook here based on the U.S. Constitution. And they're saying, like, oh no, we're being constitutionally accurate. We're being accurate and faithful to the U.S. Constitution. You see, we even named the section of our psychotic 920-page playbook after sections of the Constitution. We are so patriotic. Motherfuck you. The Republican Party and conservative folks do not have exclusive rights to being able to claim that they're patriotic or that they alone are the sole defendants and protectors of the U.S. Constitution. 98% of those motherfuckers have barely read it, let alone follow it. If they have, then you better believe that they would not be so proud of themselves right now. And Tam was saying, Angel didn't do his homework. Well, Angel's, like I said, Angel's got a good reason. He got sick. He caught a very bad case of face melt. I wish I was making that up. Like, see, guys, it's just Angel looked at homework again and boom. I'm sorry.
Cried.
He just died.
He cried.
He went the way of the Wicked Witch of the West.
No. That's just melting in. No, he's just melted from the face off first. You see, there goes his glasses, and there goes the fedora that Angel keeps, because everyone knows that Angel always owns a fedora, and that's not something that I'm making up just for a bit. But
okay, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to say this right now, and
it's okay.
This is just
we're fucking with Angel because we love him.
Of course, but like, no human being should stretch themselves out so fucking thin. Like, whether it's at work or anything. Like, know your limits, dude. Listen to your body. If you need to take a break, take a fucking break.
Yes, please, folks. Rest time is important. Downtime is important.
And
your body.
I doubt that Angel will listen to. I doubt that Angel will listen to this advice. But like, come on, guys.
You know he won't.
Well, Angel's probably at work right now. He can't listen because he's at work. He's trapped. He's
listening to all the bullshit
exactly
that he doesn't want to hear.
He's listening to bullshit, and he's doing bullshit that he doesn't want to but has to in order to maintain his roof. I'm not going to knock him on that. I feel very sad. Also, I don't want his face melting. I just don't. That's a very bad look for him. There's no amount of concealer that'll change that. All right, so I'm gonna quit stalling over here. I'm gonna get to my bullet points of section 2, the common defense. Like, good God, just one bit of an idea over here. I'm gonna skip down to the kind of reforms these guys want, specifically in the Department of Defense, the DoD itself. So. Buried in all this nonsense, buried in all this Jesus, it did it again. Buried in all this craziness is basically the short version of it all is they want a transparent infrastructure of the DoD, allocating funds between military branches and removing resources from inconvenient operations. For instance, any domestic terrorism threats that might also be conservative-leaning, like people like the Proud Boys, for example, that might be inconvenient to people. But that's totally not what they're saying. No, they're trying to trim the fat. They're trying to lean up the military and the Department of Defense in order to make everything run spick and span and machine fresh. They're totally not trying to hide the fact that they're secretly getting supporters from psychotic militia groups and they're being investigated by internal intelligence agencies here in the U.S. No, they're simply trying to run things efficiently, like you should. Bullshit. Let's see. They're also working out their freaking included in this is a new method of getting of trying to reinvent how people get promoted based rather than actually basing it on their performance and their ability to do their work. For anyone who's like a flag officer or a general or anyone like that, like actual officers, basically doing it as based on loyalty. That's the simplest way that I could fucking put that down. Let's see, rapid deployment. Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, like I said, loyal to the president-elect's agenda.
Yeah, loyal to the president himself rather than to the country, which is horseshit. Yeah, see, here we go. Rescue, recruiting, and retention. Oh, they've got so many problems with people not passing the ASVAB, which is the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery exam. That's the entrance exam. They want more people to be able to complete this and take a look. Improve military recruiters' access to secondary schools and require completion of the ASVAB, by the military entrance examination, by all students in schools that receive federal funding. So, public schools, guess fucking what? You've got a new standardized test to have to fucking go through, and it's the fucking ASVAB! Making it fucking mandatory for everyone, male, female, non-binary, whatever. If you're in high school, before you graduate, you need to take the ASVAB in order to see if you're fit for military service. It's bad enough that we're fucked with the SATs, and over here in Florida, especially the goddamn FCAT exams. Good God, I still have nightmares of that shit.
I hated that so much.
Standardized testing
so
has turned our fucking country into a shit show. Also, Idia Shroud is in the chat. Hey up, Idia Shroud. I appreciate your face. Sorry, I didn't mention you earlier. She says I need to repay my membership. Whenever you're free to do that, on your time, on your dime. We appreciate your face. Thank you for joining us. As Puerto Rican, I don't have much to say or input I have in this. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, we need 2 states more here in America. We need either Puerto Rico ought to have its own independence or ought to officially have recognition as a state, and the District of Columbia ought to be its own fucking state as well. New Columbia, easy, boom, done. 2 new states. It's been forever since we added some states. Let's put some states in. If Puerto Rico doesn't want to be a state, fantastic. Let's let them have their independence. Let's get them set up with infrastructure for them to go on their own. Awesome, Boricua, and que viva para siempre Puerto Rico. And I've got no issue with that whatsoever. If Puerto Rico wants statehood, fan-fucking-tastic. Welcome to the family officially, instead of just being rented out, instead of just being occupied by our asses. What the fuck do I know? I just study American history. So what the fuck do I know? Anywho, it's I'm over here give me your takes over here. They want the ASVAB to be officially made mandatory for public schooling. So you have to complete the military entrance exam before you graduate, as part of your secondary schooling. Can anyone else tell me how fucked that's am I the only one who sees how fucked that is, or does everyone else see that?
No, we all see that. Come on, man. We're students already stress enough, and like you said, taking these other standardized tests, especially students in their senior year of high school, how they have to take their SATs.
Oh no, but you know what you really ought to do?
They ended up never really using.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's fucking exactly, and it's horseshit. We bust our ass. We've busted our asses. We made we were made to believe that these federal tests over here, these nationwide tests, which are the standard setters for colleges and universities nationwide, that they're the apex of it all. And at the end of the day, now these guys are trying to say oh, by the way, no, that's not the only thing you got to worry about. We need to make sure if you're good enough cannon fodder for us. We need to keep greasing the wheels of the military-industrial complex in our fucking country by throwing in some more poor young kids. Motherfuckers. like, yeah, imagine like Tam Tam. You see, yeah, it's true, Mr. Wancho. Imagine all these kids having to think. All these kids have to think of already. And yeah, Idiot Shroud. Holy shit, yeah, no. I'm going to speak from my experience of growing up in Puerto Rico and recently visited. We're struggling with food. My family owns a finca, and we can barely grow much. You see what I mean? Like it's horseshit how mistreated and how fucking kicked around Puerto Rico is. And meanwhile, we fucking like here comes the United States, where we fucking use Puerto Rico as a dumping ground for tax write-offs for pharmaceuticals and shit. But what do I know? Yeah, see, you're having droughts, for fuck's sake. That's the kind of shit that you said in FEMA for. That's the kind of shit you get the Department of Agriculture to fucking come in and help fucking people out. You know? But no, we can't do that because they're not a state. They're just a protectorate. They're just a territory. Fuckers. Okay, so hold on, la mierda. That's just like one example of what else these guys have got. Let me see, what else did I write down in this nightmare file? Let's see. Yeah, more nukes, more money to Israel, because God knows that's not going away anytime soon. Value the military family. Jesus Christ. Let's see, other nations paying the U.S. for defense. Yeah, like, basically turning our support budget to allies and turning it into pay to play. So instead of the stuff coming out of the gigantic ass military budget in order to send supplies or send munitions or military technologies over to allied nations, and brunting the front and paying for it out of ourselves, and the nations providing, basically being spearheads for us in those particular theaters of warfare, basically saying like, nope, pony up, pony the fuck up. Pay me my money. It's almost as if we're turning the U.S. military into the largest mercenary outfit the world has ever known. Let's see. Let's see here. Also, more authority for chaplains in the military. Yeah. Does anyone know what a chaplain is? By the way, do you guys know what it is?
No.
Ladies?
Minister.
Exactly. It's a minister. And what was that?
Oh no, mom answered off screen. She's like, a minister. It's a minister.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is a minister. And basically what they're doing over here is like, as part of this thing, eliminate politicization, reestablish trust and accountability, and restore faith to the force. The Reagan National in 2021, the Reagan National Defense Study found that only 45% of Americans have, quote, a great deal of trust and confidence in the military, down from 70% in 2018. Let's see here. Where did it go? I just had it. Strengthen protections for chaplains to carry out their ministry according to the tenets of their faith. Codify language to instruct senior military officers 3 and 4 stars to make certain that they understand that their primary duty to be ensuring the readiness of the armed forces, not pursuing a social engineering agenda. This direction should be reinforced during the Senate confirmation process. Orders and directions motivated by purely partisan motives should be identified as threats to readiness. Reinstate service members to active duty who are discharged for not receiving the COVID vaccine, restore their appropriate rank, and provide back pay? Motherfucker, I don't want no fucking sick-ass dumbass who didn't want to fucking get themselves vaccinated to go back in the fucking military. Yeah, fucking right. Like,
no, that's not who I would trust.
And like the bit of like, strengthening protections for chaplains to carry out their ministry according to tenets of their faith. Usually when you have a minister on that, 95% of the time it's going to be a non-denominational, or majority of the time a Christian minister of some variety of the 985,000 flavors of Christianity. But you know what? But those guys are really underrepresented, so they need to have their protection strengthened so that they can continue practicing, as if Christianity itself isn't the most ubiquitous religion on the face of the earth right now, and more to the point, that there has barely been any discussion, if any at all, of there being any military chaplains having faced any form of extreme treatment from other service members, either of different faiths or folks who are non-believers or atheistic, of mistreating these chaplains in any way. So, where the fuck is this coming from? Unless you look at it for what it actually is, which is, oh, we need a little more Jesus in the military. Let's get these guys to have more backup. Let's get these guys to have more enforcement for being able to practice faith and to proselytize and to provide missionary work within the military and which is also important. One of the key important parts of it is, of course, conversion. Converting people to these particular faiths, particularly flavor of Christianity that these chaplains all have to be in, apparently. Yeah, I'm making a little bit of an assumption here, but knowing the actual facts, what the fuck are they talking about when it comes to, strengthening protections of the chaplains? Like,
yeah, and Juan, when they say that their religious freedoms are being, attacked, it's like, okay, which religious freedom? Are you only really going to promote one singular religion over others? In that case, you can't say we need to have freedom of religion. Okay.
Exactly.
Then you have to have
everyone and not just
the religions.
out one religion.
And not even fuck with it or anything like that. Like, let me take a look in the chat because I saw some talk in there. Let me see. Is everyone trying to put on more kids and make them grow up too fast? Make bigger mistakes even younger? I know, right, Tam Tam? Like getting our children stressed out even further by having them be required to take the ASVAB. That'd be fucking terrifying. Let me take a look over here at Shroud because I love my island. I love the States, but it's getting out of hand. I know, fucking hell. It fucking hurts my ass. X-Men Forever, I'm making me choose between them and my mother's brothers. They're no friends to begin with over there, X-Men Forever. If they're trying to make you choose between them and family, that's not how you fucking do it.
No.
And Struggler even in the chat, like, there's Struggler saying, can we not? There's a separation of church and state for a reason. Yeah! Like, that's why I've got what the fuck are they actually trying to fucking say with this shit? And
because they don't want that separation anymore.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Idiot Shroud, I respect religion, but when it comes to life and death because of wars and military duties, please keep it out of the wagon. Exactly. We've got to, when it comes to life and death, when it comes to military readiness, when it comes to training, you have to, worry a little bit more about, I don't know.
Staying alive?
Yeah! Oh God! I don't want to be fucking worrying about whether or not the company chaplain is being able to Jesus up enough when we've got people with rocket launchers shooting at us. Yeah, hey Ravens flock, people will drink the red Kool-Aid. I know what you mean, Mr. Quake. It's fucking ridiculous. They'll do exactly what and Matthew Colbert, you're right. That's exactly what freedom of religion was made for people of all faiths, not just one. Fucking hell, it's insane. And X-Men Forever, yes, half white and half black on my dad's side and Puerto Rican on my mother's side. Fuck yeah, man. Everyone using African resources, no fucking kidding. Let me see what else I've got in this nightmare. Let me see here. Okay, less generals, value the military family. Jesus, fucking seriously. Like, look, this is what these guys are fucking saying. Like, military service requires extreme sacrifices by families. Support legislation to increase wages and family allowances for active duty and enlisted personnel. No ununiformed personnel should ever have to rely on social benefits like food stamps or public housing assistance. Now, on that regard, you're right. Pay our troops. Fucking pay them. Fucking pay them so that they're not just subsisting, so that they're living. Hey, guess what? Blind squirrel, broken clock, right? Improve base housing and consider the military family holistically when considering change station moves. Yes, please, for fuck's sake. Improve spouse employment opportunities and protections, including license reform and expanded childcare. Huh. It's almost as if this is one of the few fucking things that I agree with. Audit all curricula and health policies in DoD schools for military families. Remove all inappropriate materials and reverse inappropriate policies. What's inappropriate? Define inappropriate. Please, give us a definition. It's in Webster's. Give us a definition. Give us a definition. Support legislation giving education savings account options to military families. Let's not lie to ourselves. Nobody really wants an education savings account. What we need is fucking actual money savings accounts. Hard, cold cash. In my hand. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, and they're even over here, like, talking about reducing the number of generals that they want actively serving by making the promotion process more stringent. Let's see. So, eliminating... Oh, God, yeah, no, hold on. Let me find the one that I'm specifically fucking... Hang on, blah, blah, blah. They mention a shitload of times how much they want missiles in this, by the way. Let me
oh
see
my
here.
God! Of course they do. Of course they want missiles. Jesus.
Well, as in, like, we need more missiles and we need more nukes. As if we're not playing a video game series that has a very strong anti-nuclear proliferation theme to it. Because we need more nukes, apparently. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find it over here. Jesus fuck. Okay. Another thing that these guys want is, like, for like, in terms of needed reforms within the U.S. Marine Corps, you know, which is, like, the toughest of the toughs, the smarter than the smarts, the baddest of the bads, right? The Scrooge McDucks of our military service. Eliminate all USMC law enforcement battalions. So, no military police for the Marine Corps?
Why?
Why? Please, by all means, I'm an idiot. Please, explain to me what you mean by that. Because I'm an idiot reading this saying, eliminate all USMC law enforcement battalions. Which translates to normal stupid guy into military police for the Marines. Go bye-bye. How is that supposed to improve the Marines? Someone explain it. Like, what? If they're not if they're not freaking running around, like, if they're not out blowing off ISIS guys off of in the deserts of Tunisia or whatever the fuck, or of some other nation that we're not supposed to be there without permission, then it's not worth the time or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I know what you fucking mean. Like, yeah, my real dad's a Marine, says Tam Tam. Military police are doomed, says Mr. Quake. Jesus Christ. Like, you know what I mean? It's fucking insane. Elect Alex VA. Hey, up there, Alex VA. Welcome to the Black Files. We appreciate you here. Also, I just changed. Oh, I see. All right. Appreciate you there. Okay. Idiot changed over to Alex VA. Now we know. X-Men Forever. Last year we were having Thanksgiving dinner. My grandma's grabbed a wood and smacked my hand when I grabbed a bag of chips. Ow. Fucking hell, Matthew Comer. Do you know where we can find the nuclear vessels? Thank you. I appreciate it. I need that. I need that bad little spit of Star Trek joke. Oh,
here, Wancho, I sent something in the group chat, too, to add a little bit of levity.
I saw. Yeah, I wish we could talk about Justin right now. Well, we're leaving that to more practice hands like Andy right now. Andy and
I
Kim.
know.
Like Andy and It's Kim, they covered Justin Timberlake here. We'll probably talk about him Saturday. I don't fucking know. But point is, like, can someone explain to me how not having any military police for the Marines, who are statistically, while they're the baddest of the bad, the toughest of the tough, the smartest of the smart, they're also the most highly strung out and most vulnerable to psychological harm within the military branches within the U.S. Armed Forces. If I'm wrong in that statistic, by all means, I would like to be shown more details to show otherwise. But you would think that, you know, if the Marines if they're on base or something, if they do something that's wrong, you would want them to be brought in by MPs, not just like freaking brought just by the local police, or, you know, dragged by their ear by their commanding officer and, I don't know, flogged like they do in fucking Starship Troopers, and everybody's celebrating because they're morons and they don't get the message of Starship Troopers, the movie. Also, I kid you not, there's even talk about having more transparency in the U.S. Space Force. They're like, yeah, the fucking Space Force thing is still a thing.
I rolled my eyes when I read that part in section 1. Like, I forgot to bring that up, but I rolled my eyes at it because, like, the first thing that came to my mind. Well, first of all, the first thing that came to my mind was the fucking Netflix series where they made fun of Space Force.
Yep, just how it was just a big joke, which come on, right now it really is, and it's kind of depressing because at the same time I want the U.S. Space Force to actually evolve to a part of like the United Earth Starfleet. I want the nice Star Trek future. All right.
I want the U.S. Space Force to flourish for
And
the
be
right
practical.
reasons, and not just to compete against another country.
And not just because one idiot says we should have it. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, use it for something worthwhile instead of literally making a dick
Yeah,
contest.
I was just about to say that.
Like he.
It's like don't say we have the best, we have the best. No, 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 no.
Hey, we have this and look what we're doing with it. This is really going to help the future.
But no, they don't
Don't
want to
just-
do it to anything to
Try
help the
to
future. They just want-
antagonize other people.
It's America. That's all we do.
Yeah.
No, like
Unfortunately.
specifically, they mentioned here in terms of the Space Force, they want to reverse the defensive posture that we have ourselves set up with, and they want more offensive deterrence capabilities. Like that's literally what it says in here. Like, oh, the Biden administration has eliminated almost all offensive deterrence capabilities, and instead will solely rely on defensive capabilities of disaggregation, maneuver, and reconstruction. The most costly, the slowest, and ultimately most fragile architecture selection. No, it's called being smart. You can't have any sort of offense if you can't defend first, morons. So, like, reestablishing offensive capabilities to guarantee a favorable balance of forces, efficiently manage the full deterrent spectrum, and seriously complicate enemy calculations on a successful first strike against U.S. space assets. First off, we don't really even have space assets yet. Do we have a U.S. Space Force shuttle? Do we have a U.S. Space Force station? Do we have a U.S. Space Force anything?
We have satellites.
Mm-hmm.
And broken satellites.
Space trash.
And space trash.
We got space trash.
Fucking hell.
Is that what you're looking for? Space trash?
No, I don't want space trash. I want a.
Well, you're gonna get space trash.
No, I want a goddamn freaking Danube class, the Federation runabout capable of top speeds of warp factor 7.95, able to be modulated for additional capabilities, including short range tactical operations and long range reconnaissance missions and research and scientific endeavors. God fucking damn it! That's what I'm looking for. I want my Starfleet shit, not this Space Force shit. God!
Agreed.
Am I stupid?
Yep.
Am I just wishing for too much? Am I just
No, that's
expecting too
what
much?
most of us are wishing for.
Fucking hell. If you're gonna build a new military branch out of nowhere, at least build it right. Fucking
But that would be too easy. They want to make it as difficult as possible.
God. Help me. Let me see here. Space trash will eventually enclose us on this planet in a decade or two, right? Thank you for that, for bringing that up as well, Struggler. Because, I'm over here, but, Stargate, we have a Stargate. No, we do not have a Stargate, Matthew Coburn. It is called a Fargate. Give it to Mohawk and put it in a wheelchair.
Oh my lord.
Sorry, no. Imagine if we were to actually be able to find a way to collect all the fucking space trash, the satellite trash, and if we were actually be able to scrap it all and use that to actually build proper shit with. Because, if we're just trapped in a bubble of our own space trash, you know what would be really helpful in deterring any form of space-based warfare? Not having trash in the way! That'd be nice! Mr. Quick, Alex, VA, exactly. My family is rolling in his grave. Tam, thanks. I remember space above and beyond. Right? Smarties are the smartest, though the toughies everywhere else square USMC. Yeah, USMC are badass. And yeah, the Space Force does not make sense. No, it doesn't. It literally has never made sense. Sorry, kstorm slipped by and she gave me this adorable little painting. Here's a quick breather, folks. Kstorm and their wonderful artistry. This is literally just when Kstorm's bored. Y'all see that?
It's really
It's
beautiful.
so pretty.
It's so pretty. God, I love my wife. I love my girlfriends too, and I love my wife. It's insane. Like, this is just one example of a breakdown of all the shit that's used in the common defense in Section 2. Another thing in here was with the Department of Homeland Security was basically a shitload of really horrendous racially charged shit. For example, specifically trying to say like, oh, there's a large scale immigration enforcement invasion shit. Like, bullshit. I have not seen to this day actual fucking the large scale of the immigrants coming to get us bullshit. They're also this is one that pisses me right the fuck off. Eliminating T visas and U visas. Let me show you what that is. Quote on here in the documentation, victimization should not be a basis for an immigration benefit. If an alien who is trafficking or a crime victim is actively and significantly cooperating with law enforcement as a witness, the S visa is already available and should be used. Pending elimination of the T and U visas, the Secretary of Homeland Security should significantly restrict eligibility for each visa to prevent fraud. Basically, those two, the T visas and U visas, I had to look up what the fuck those are. Those are for victims of sexual trafficking and human trafficking. If they have reasonable concern and provide reasonable evidence that they're victims of sex trafficking or human trafficking, and they're looking for asylum in order to get the fuck away from whatever psychotic cartel they're trying to run away from in order to provide sufficient testimony and survive long enough to bring them down, then yes, they should be granted those T visas and U visas. Let me show you guys. Visa. Motherfuck. Yeah. No, like, over here. In the website for the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. Like, legitimately, T visa is over here. Victims of human trafficking, T non-immigrant status. T non-immigrant status is a temporary immigration benefit that enables certain victims of a severe form of trafficking in persons to remain in the United States for an initial period of up to 4 years if they have complied with any reasonable request for assistance from law enforcement in the detection, investigation, or prosecution of human trafficking or qualify for an exemption or exception. T non-immigrant status is also available to certain qualifying family members of trafficking victims. Like, I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to put it in the chat on your time, on your dime. Read up on this. Take a look at exactly what this is actually for. And these dum-dums just want to say bye-bye to that. Because they're worried that there's fraud. Because they're worried that there's too many people who are falsely immigrating and they're trying to take over and trying to falsely become citizens in order to vote Democratic because they've got a bad sob story of they're being victimized. Like,
yeah,
I cannot stress this enough. Shit like this in this documentation in Section 2 is all over it. It is extremely fucking misogynistic. It is extremely fucking insensitive and fucking cruel to people who are trying to come out and trying to save themselves from being potentially anheroed. They don't want to end up like Angel, except in the case of Angel, where his face melted, like metaphorically, these folks would actually anhero. All right, you know what this means. I'm not going to fucking say it. But you get the point, right?
Yes.
How fucking hateful do you have to be to people? How fucking, like, insensitive and... Yeah, exactly, Alex, VA. They're saying, so they basically say, fuck human rights?
Fuck human rights.
Yeah.
All right, guys, Democrats or Republicans?
awful.
That's for me to know and for you to find out. Sorry, like that's one of the things that I'm very much like to slip in when it comes to this. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say what party I'm specifically affiliating with, but only because that's for me to know. I'm letting you guys know where my political leanings are. I'm not necessarily like one diehard Democrat or even fucking diehard on like the fucking Republican side, because believe it or not, there's some shit that you can get out of the fucking Republican side if you can strip out all the horrible racism and sexism, homophobia, fucking warmongering bullshit, and you can find a couple of nuggets of gold. Just a few tiny little nuggets. They're tiny, but they're there.
We can all at least agree that both parties have really gone downhill.
They have, and it sucks. With
sucks.
the upcoming election, there's really no incentive for any of us to vote for either party.
And sadly, it's always been you vote for the lesser of evil, which honestly, I think that's ridiculous. We even have to find ourselves in that kind of situation. And technically, the founding fathers wanted to not have this exact situation.
They didn't want parties.
A two-party system that literally just kept butting heads and refuses to really listen to the people. That's what they were against. So,
and look what's happened.
Right.
This is also why we all hate politics.
Yeah.
I know how annoying it is. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But we've got to do this shit. We're trying to bring the education out for people. We're trying to do this shit. So I'm going to go ahead and tag in the ladies here for sections 4 and 5. Take it away. Okay,
so time for the economy. And let me tell you, folks, I have not talked about the government or the economy since I graduated high school.
This is xeiana, by
wow,
the way,
that
folks.
was a very long time ago, guys.
This is xeiana.
I don't like it.
I'm so sorry. This sucks
I
bad.
I technically have like 5 pages worth of just bullet notes. Try and get through them relatively quickly. There was a preface which literally just talked about the 5, was it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mini chapters, as we'll call it.
Right.
So let me see, which ones I can say. I did find that it said that trade creates peace. American influence can play a role in turning China from I can never freaking say this word.
Oh, dang, another China shout out.
How do you say the word?
What page?
Sorry.
What page on the dock is it?
Authoritarian threat into a less hostile power. Again, China. And we should repeal or lower tariffs, including Trump-Biden tariffs, to make items affordable for Americans. You know, that really would be nice. It would help that we don't have to pay inflated prices. It would really help our wallets.
What page?
So,
is that
I'm listing good and bad things. So,
right. What page in the doc is that on?
Well, no, that's just from the preface.
Oh, that's just from the preface here. Oh, Jesus, you're kidding me.
Yes, it literally talked about it, and then it split everything up into longer chapters. Let's see. Free trade will improve economy and enhance national security. Trade deficits matter a lot. Offshoring suppresses the real wages of American workers, denies them the opportunity to climb up the ladder to middle class. That is very true.
Yeah.
Let's see. But again, China. We should get away from China, who uses its revenue from its trade surplus to buy American real estate companies and financial assets. We should shift this thing. I do agree with this thing. We should shift manufacturing and supply chains to American soil. I agree with that, because too much has actually been outsourced to China or other places for pennies. That needs to change. Am I right?
Yeah, see what I mean? This is what I was talking about, baby. Like,
there are some good things. There are some bad things.
I would like there to be more shit manufactured in the USA. You know, more jobs here. I would like that very much. If there weren't any, but see, here's the problem. What kind of financial institution are we stuck with? The same one that is keeping us...
Capitalism.
Yeah, not just capitalism. Late stage capitalism. Mm-hmm. Yay! That's the fucking shit that's killing our souls and keeping Angel from joining us every week.
Let's talk about the Department of Commerce.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things in here. Mainly, either they have to be consolidated eliminated, or just completely abolished. So the ITA, the International Trade Administration, and the BIS, the Bureau of Industry and Security, should be streamlined and moved to the office of, oh my God, so many words,
The U.S.
Trade Representative, along with Development of Finance Corporation, U.S. Trade and Development Agency, Export-Import Bank, and other trade-related programs. Oh, that's so much words.
Yeah, basically saying, okay, the ITA and the BIS, gone. We don't want those. Get away from them. Put them somewhere else.
I do agree that a lot of these things do need to be streamlined. They do. The only issue is trying to get that done is like pulling teeth.
It's insane. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of bureaucracy that has to go through in this shit because you can't do every single job by just one person. It's impossible.
Correct. Now, Economic Development Administration's grants and other such programs should be consolidated or eliminated. The
Why?
Bureau of Economic, I have no idea. They didn't really say.
Sure,
Basically, there's too many bureaus and everything, and they should actually fall under another one instead. I guess to save money. I don't know. The Bureau of Economic Analysis and Census Bureau and Department of Labor's labor statistics should also be consolidated. The U.S. Patent and Trademark offices should be made into performance organizations under Office of Management and Budget and consolidated with the National Institute of Standards and Technology, with some research functions eliminated or moved.
Now this
again, you can see there's just literally X everywhere. Here's something that really should not be dismantled.
The National
NOAA,
Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA.
Exactly. And they say that it should be moved to the state level or to territorial control. Not sure how that would really work.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, aren't these guys part of the National Weather Service?
Yeah.
Aren't these guys like,
we'll get to that one later. We'll get to the National Weather Service later.
Like, aren't these the guys who, track hurricanes?
Yes.
Yes, and friendly reminder, we're already in hurricane season.
Motherfucker really did want to nuke a hurricane that badly. They're going
You beat me to it one. I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. Let's just throw a nuke at it.
Oh my God.
They said in a conservative administration, the ITA should operate. Basically, they're saying we need to counter China and other U.S. adversaries. We need to have agreements that work for us and defend against trade violations. Again, us first, no one else.
Like, okay, but how? That's the thing. That's just the thing. Well, like, they don't say how in any of this shit.
It takes a lot more than just saying we need to do this. There's a lot more that goes into that.
Which is why they're trying to cut out.
That's over our pay grade.
Which is why they're trying to cut out a lot of the thought work that goes into it by just taking these commissions and these other little boards and everything and either shoving them into some other branch or some other administration or getting rid of them altogether. Like, oh, problem solved. I don't have to fucking think about this anymore because it doesn't exist. Or it's a part of this thing. So I don't have to deal with it.
Now, they also did mention that apparently we're in the middle of a Cold War with China due to our exports of goods, software, and technology. So we basically should be putting them on the prohibited export entity list, which pretty much is we restrict how much we send to them.
What?
Apparently there's like 500 Russian and Chinese companies, I'm guessing. I think it's companies.
You gotta be
that are on that list. Oh, you'll like this. We talked about this, guys.
Oh, what?
Providers such as WeChat, ByteDance/TikTok, which are known to undermine national security through data collection, surveillance, and influence operations, should be added to the entity list as well.
Bullshit.
This would prevent users from updating the app and make it non-operational in the U.S.
Motherfuck you guys. Like, yeah, no, they're fucking as these
It will literally make it so you have not updated it And if you can't update it, then you can't use
Must
it.
suck.
Like, no, it's such bullshit. Like, it's literally, like, they're doing this is specifically for the express purpose of, like, oh, well, no, we're just trying to protect against China. Like, okay, in what way? Well, we're gonna eliminate
China.
TikTok. No.
Because China. That's it. Just because China.
Oh, I got words when I get to mine.
So, NOAA consists of 6 main offices: the National Weather Service, the National Ocean Service, the Oceanic and Atmospheric Research, the National Environmental Satellite Data and Information Service, the National Marine Fisheries Service, and the Office of Marine and Aviation Operations and NOAA Corps.
Basically, all 6 of those, bye-bye. We don't need that.
Yes.
We don't need them. We don't
They
need 'em.
also said that private companies like AccuWeather have more reliable forecasts and warning than the National Weather Service and was it the National Ocean Service? Oh, sorry. And the National Ocean Service should be regulated to the U.S. Coast Guard and Geological Survey.
Are you fucking
I'm
kidding
not
me?
sure how.
Well, they want to hand over
Right.
NOAA to some dipshit like Elon Musk or something? Oh, we should privatize this shit. Let's hand it to the biggest
They do
dumbasses
talk about
on Earth.
privatizing a lot. They also say that they support free speech, not really, and hold big tech companies accountable. That's, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everything. Except, that's not going to happen because
That ain't happening.
they're already,
Like,
Now, for the Department of Treasury.
oh my god, these fucking guys.
You know that the average family has seen real annual earnings fall about $6,000 during the Biden administration. In 2022, the average American's 401k plan dropped in value from $130,700 to $103,900, more than a 20% decrease. Not really sure where they got that data, but
Well, they have their citations.
okay.
Let me see where their citation is. Fidelity 2022. Like, do these guys not fucking realize that when it comes to these retirement analyses, they come in mega late, and the effects of all this shit actually comes in way harder than you realize, is because they're actually.
It's also the stock market. Stock
Yeah.
market goes up and down.
Exactly.
So you can't really say that people are losing it just because of president, because the stock market, it will go up, it will go down, you will lose money, you will gain money. You can't really, you can't base it on that,
No,
unfortunately.
you literally can't. It's impossible. Like, the best you can do is set down policy and set it up with a proper time frame in order for those policies to take effect, or at the very least, in order for those policies to be able to show effect within the economy within a reasonable period of time. And at that point, by then it's usually fucking too late. Let me take a look over here. What about PBS, the public broadcast? Yeah, I was gonna fucking say Mr. Quake. I'm gonna check that out over here in a minute. And Mr. Quake is also asking, Xeiana, what year did you graduate high school?
You're going to make me feel old. I graduated high school in 2009.
I'm all
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, nine.
04.
Oh,
I'm class of 04.
I'm class of 06.
So yeah, we old, man. We old. Yeah.
Sound Mind's in the chat. Hey, up here, Sound Mind. Welcome to the Black Files. We appreciate you. You're saying the market is actually going up and up right now. Few people are getting richer and richer, and the rest are getting poorer and poorer. Yeah, see, the stock market, that being a metric of it doing really well, yeah, that's great, except for like 92% of U.S. citizens even participate in the stock market. Like you mentioned, it's like few people are getting richer and richer over here. So yeah, fantastic. The rich people are getting rich. What about average wage increases? What about reduction of
income and corporate tax?
Yeah.
I'm getting to that.
Oh, you're getting to that. Oh shit.
Yeah. So they did mention.
Oh shit. Alex VA said that they were born in 2004. I'm like,
Oh my god.
I'm old.
You feel old now. So
Yeah.
for the tax system, they did mention I don't really know too much about tax brackets, but they said that 30% should begin at or near the Social Security wage base. And they say the corporate income tax rate should be reduced to 18%. Does that mean that the corporate is going to be taxed less, but us
Tax more.
we will be
not
taxed
just
more?
us tax more. People on Social Security specifically, because what you were mentioning there, the Social Security tax happening at 30%, that should be increased. So people who are either of retirement age or or disabled ought to pay more than corporations in terms of income tax.
And see, that's wrong because corporations make a lot of money.
Fuck that noise, man.
Now, they also said that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac must end and instead focus on privatizing the housing finance agencies. That is a big no-no because we know what happens when things are privatized.
When that shit's privatized, then means everyone and their mother is going to try to get the most insane fucking interest rates for whatever home loans that you can get in on. And before you know it, you're set up with people setting up their home loans at places like Amscot, where you have freaking interest rates being as disgusting as like 49% kind of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that
now,
noise.
See,
that's where it all devolves down to.
They also want to take affirmative steps to expose and eradicate the practice of critical race theory and diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, throughout the Treasury Department. So they want to weed out everyone who agrees with these practices and replace them with people who are against them.
By the way, folks, VA's over here saying I lost my membership and I'm trying to repay it. Like I said, Alex VA, Idiot Shroud, whichever way. On your time, there's no rush. We don't hold grudges. We appreciate that you're putting in the effort, if and whenever you can. There's no worries. We appreciate it, but don't stress yourself into an ulcer over it. But I don't have access to the link. You say that is so bizarre. Let me do the thing over here one more time where you can become an inner flocker. Let me just put that in the fucking thing in the chat. It kicks me off when I try finding it. How's that? Does this help? I don't know if this helps at all. I really don't know, but I hope that does something. Does anyone actually know what critical race theory is?
Live research.
Guess what?
I think we talked about it before. I think we had talked about it a long time ago on the Black Files, but yeah, we could use a refresher.
No, actually, guess what? Guess what? There's a definition for it in the dictionary. In the Merriam-Webster's, the official... I love how it's like, just fucking dunk on this shit by just pulling up the definition. I'm sorry. It's just silly. I feel dumb. A group of concepts, such as the idea that race, see race entry 1 sense 1A, is a sociological rather than biological designation, and that racism, see racism sense 2A, pervades society and is fostered and perpetuated by the legal system, used for examining the relationship between race and the laws and legal institutions of a country, especially the United States. Basically, for the record, we can say, oh, I'm Hispanic, I'm Caucasian, I'm African American, I'm Asian, I'm Native American, I'm from Poland, like whatever race, whatever, like if you're Asian, or Caucasian or Hispanic, whatever, guess what? Those are all just fucking terms. They're not actual things that are like race is a thing that we made up because it's easier to lump people into groups if you could see their immediate commonalities. Whereas in reality, all this means over here, you know this? All that is the definition of how much melanin is in my body. Some people have more melanin, some people have less melanin. It all depends on where you have lived or where your ancestry has lived around the world over the process of thousands of years, and people from different parts of the world meeting and coalescing through biological process and all that, and you've got different groups of stuff. Race isn't a real thing. We made it up. So if we take that out of the way, we can begin seeing how, if you take a look at race and racism, like it says in the definition from a sociological standpoint, and seeing how it gets applied in terms of legal system, how that shit is applied through different institutions. Institutionalized racism through that really doesn't have any basis on actual reality anymore. We're beyond that shit. We're in the 21st century. People are smart now, mostly. This kind of shit is taught in, like, second-year law schools. This shit isn't being taught to, like, grade school kids. This shit isn't being taught to a pre-kinder fucking class or a daycare or in, like, high school and shit. But everyone and their mother is swearing up and down, left, right, and center, and even slantagonal ways that it's everywhere and it's the worst thing ever and it's horribly destroying the fabric of society because it's anti-white peoples. Guess what? It's anti-white peoples. Yeah, I wonder why. Maybe is it because sociologically the folks who are Caucasian and who present European Caucasian specifically have had sociological and economic advantages over the course of several centuries? Maybe. I don't know. Am I being stupid or am I just pointing out the fucking obvious here?
Pointing out the fucking obvious.
Pointing out the obvious at this point.
It's exactly. See, it's not segregation. It's 24, guys. Ugh. Thank you. See what I fucking mean? It's like insane.
So they
and
also
and Mr. Quake saying I'm black, I'm half race over here. We're in the human race. We have 20 fingers. Wait, you mean 10 fingers? Oh, you're talking about
if
the
you
toes.
count the toes, it's 20. So.
No, okay. So like the point of it is like take that shit aside and take take that shit aside and how people are being treated based on that shit. It's like fucking insane. It's fucking insane. And this Project 2025 shit is saying that, oh, it's pervasive throughout the institution and we must eliminate the critical race theory and we must remove DEI. You notice this is one thing that I will give compliment to the psychotic conservatives, to the psychotic Republicans. They invent boogeymen and they invent these terms with very flashy initials. And they get people very scared and very worried at the initials. Because if you actually break down what the fucking initials mean, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Look at those shits side by side and any reasonable fucking person will look at that like, well, diversity is good. We have different thoughts and opinions. We can come to greater understandings of one another, and we can all come to commonalities. Equity is a good thing. Everyone should have not only equal opportunity, but also have equal access to resources and also equal treatment. Inclusion is a good thing. We're like Mr. Quake said, we're in 24. There's no point in being exclusionary on people based on superficial shit like race, gender, sexual preference or lack of ability, physical disability or lack thereof. When you look at those three words separately, and when you look at them as full words, diversity, equity, inclusion, you look at that, and any sane person will tell you, you know what, those are good things. We should, as enlightened, as involved fucking human beings that we all hope to be, we embrace and accept those good things. But no! We have to fight DEI! You see that? It fucking made the camera go bananas because the DEIs are out to get you. They're trying to destroy the fabric of America because it's DEI! It's everywhere! You have to be afraid of the DEI!
Hang on a minute. Wancho?
Yes.
Wancho?
Yes.
I believe Xeiana Rose was trying to say something.
Sorry about that.
They also want to get rid of Advisory Committee on Racial Equity. They also say that if they don't believe, if you participate in any of those things, grounds for termination immediately.
What? Wait, hold on. Where in the document is that? If you're... okay, no, I found it. I literally found it over here. The equity agenda. Horse shit, these idiots. You see what I mean? Like, they're over here trying to say...
Yeah, they want to expose and make public all training materials and initiatives designed to single out any race, ethnicity, or sex for special treatment.
We're not asking for special treatment. They're asking for equal treatment. It goes back to the old saying, when people are accustomed to power, equality feels like persecution. I think that's how that phrase goes.
No.
So is that close enough? I think.
Yeah. They also want to withdraw from any climate change agreements and the Paris Agreement. But here's the kicker. They want to work on a path to net zero emissions by mid-century.
Like that's going to happen.
I don't see that happening considering our dependence on oil and coal.
So you heard it, folks. We need arc reactor technology right now. We need...
I'm not really sure how they're going to work on that path considering, the bigwigs of oil and fossil fuels continuously donate to the GOP.
Exactly.
Right. Now, I actually do want to interject because this is the part where I got to bounce out, my friends.
Yeah, Jose's a sneepy boy. He's a bit eepy. He's got to take a nappy. He hasn't had his juice.
You need a big nappy.
All right, Jose, I'm going to let you get your final word in for now, and let us know what we have to look forward to on tomorrow night's edition of Wrestle Rewind. And I'll continue with the girls here. I'll continue with Xeiana and Dragonfang.
Yeah. So quick final thoughts on Project 2025. This is absolutely nerve-wracking to read through, and I didn't read the whole fucking document. Thank goodness. I think I would hate I think I would hate myself more if I did.
You would.
I would. I really don't want this to go into fruition, and the only way to ensure that none of this happens, it's simple: don't vote Donald Trump, because I know that he's not specifically named of who they're pushing for in this document, but
he's the fucking guy they want.
He's the fucking guy they want. Let's not pretend otherwise.
And remember, he said he would be a dictator for a day, but once a dictator, you're never going to stop.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
and I would say the same thing if Biden said that. I would be like, hell no.
Yeah, no.
Fuck that noise.
Overall, Project 2025 is a fucking mess to read through. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing in this document that is beneficial to the American people, and it is only beneficial to the conservatives and their agendas.
Well said, Jose. Sweet, simple, to the point. I'll get to the chat in a little bit. So let us know what we have for tomorrow night's episode of Wrestle Rewind, Jose.
All right, for tomorrow night's edition of Wrestle Rewind, which is every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube Kick, me and my tag partner Juan Arauz, we will review three of the most exciting professional wrestling programs in North America today: WWE's NXT, AEW Dynamite, and TNA Impact. Tomorrow night's edition, we will be reviewing the main event of this year's WWE's Clash at the Castle Scotland. If you haven't joined us last Saturday in our watch party, don't worry about it, because me and Juan, we will review the main event of Clash at the Castle tomorrow night. And we'll also review the main event of this year's pay-per-view of TNA's Against All Odds, featuring Moose defending the TNA World Championship against Broken Matt Hardy.
All right, fantastic, Jose. Go ahead and get yourself some sleep. I can tell that you're dead to the world. Go the fuck to bed. Good night, Joe.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. Juancho, thank you for having me on. Folks, please be responsible of where you get your news from, and remember that we're all human beings and we all deserve to be treated like human beings.
Respect.
Except for the conservatives, they can go to hell.
Oh, they just need to get their heads fixed.
Ha! That's gonna take a miracle.
Well, true. All right, Joe. Have a good night. Go the fuck to bed.
Have a good night, everyone.
All right. All right. So, lady xeiana, Dragon Fang. Let's get back to this godless thing. I'm so sorry. Y'all can clock out once you're done with this stuff too. Please, I beg you.
Well, at least mine's gonna be sweet. Sweet.
Yeah, Sis is very short. Now, you know what's even shorter than Sis's thing?
What?
The export-import bank, because it literally was just a lot of mumbo jumbo of repeating the same technical terms that I barely was even following. So I was literally trying to pull my hair out.
Well,
but they said it should be abolished because it wastes taxpayer money, it adversely affects American businesses, and does not promote economic growth. I know they gave some details, but it was like really difficult to follow. And then they said when Exim enters a deal, the American taxpayer is always protected first. Then why does it say it wastes taxpayers' money? If a deal goes into default, the U.S. taxpayers pay back before any other lender. Those two things were contradicting.
Exactly. Like,
So,
which is it, assholes?
I honestly skimmed my way through it because it was very confusing. I don't like businessy type words, so I really couldn't follow.
I understand.
So,
what was after this? The import bank. Let's see here. After
maybe
this,
it's the Federal Reserve.
okay. I have thoughts about the Fed, but let's actually see exactly where these guys go with it. By all means.
What they talked about? So, did you know the government can abuse this authority for its own advantage? Do you know how? By printing money to finance its operations. That's also how we get inflation. Because there's so much money being printed out.
Yeah.
Now, I do agree with this one because, well, I'll get to it. They do say that we need to limit the Federal Reserve's lender of last resort function. This function should be limited so that banks and other financial institutions behave more prudently, returning to their traditional role as conservative lenders rather than taking risks that are too large and lead to still yet another taxpayer bailout. So remember, they always keep getting into trouble, and the government has to bail the banks out. Do you remember that?
Yeah, no, they even actually.
I do agree with this. I heavily agree with this.
Yeah, so go fucking figure.
If we're supposed to be good with our money, then they need to as well.
Like,
just because they're banks doesn't mean they can literally frivolously spend everyone's money.
Exactly. Like, see what I mean? Like, we're finding nuggets in this shit pile. Go fucking figure. That's actually something, like, when it comes to the Federal Reserve System, when it comes to banks getting extreme fucking bailouts on this, the Federal Reserve is where they come to, and is where they get their funding from. And like, go fucking figure. Limiting the function for lender of last resort in the Fed. Yeah, I'm actually down with that. See, like, this is actually good shit. Like, I don't have a problem with taking the Fed and wrangling it and giving it the Homer to Bart Simpson choke out fucking function. Why, you little... Like, yeah, I got no issue with that.
They're also the reason why, the housing market has gone so crazy.
It's gone to shit, is what it is.
Between February 2020 and August 2022, home prices increased by 42%. I can't fact check that, but basically because of inflation, they say that they are 5.8% above the prior all-time record levels of 2006. Now, it is 7.68. Now, they do say that both mortgages have increased a lot, so have rentals. And the primary driver of higher costs during the past 3 years has been the Federal Reserve's purchases of mortgage-backed securities, also known as MBS.
Yeah, I remember that. That's basically how we got ourselves fucked up with the mortgage and lending crisis over here. I actually found something insane in here. Monetary rule reform options, free banking, for example.
Yeah, that's actually the next bullet point.
Huh.
They want to bring back free banking where interest rates and supply of money is not controlled by the government. They do want to have the dollar once more backed by gold. This was known as the Suffolk system back in the 1824 to the mid-1850s.
See, the thing is, we in a way, we kind of can't do that because we're not bound by gold.
We don't
anymore.
have enough gold.
There isn't enough
back
gold in the world
all of the dollars we have.
But there's plenty of oil. What do you think OPEC is around for? Why do you think we've got the petrodollar here? Oh, yeah. No, why do you think we have so many friends and so much freedom and democracy we need to go to the Middle East for? It's like fucking Dave Chappelle when he was doing President Black Bush. Trying to get that oil! Oh! Yeah. No. Like, so, that would be challenging. I have no problem with free banking. I like free banking. Going back to the gold standard would be fucking insane, though. Commodity back to money.
Especially because, I mean, a lot of people did sell their gold, so a lot of people would be like, wow, thanks.
Yeah, no.
It would help control inflation, though.
True. The only trouble is that, like you said,
to get back to free banking would require such a massive overhaul that I don't think it would ever be able to be done.
Not feasibly.
Unless people actually agreed.
Yeah, not feasibly in any time soon over here.
So
yeah.
That ends the Federal Reserves. Now we're going to the Small Business Administration.
Oh, boy.
So they say that their mission is to aid, counsel, assist, and protect, insofar as is possible, the interests of small business concerns. I will go ahead right now and say that's complete and utter bullshit, because we all know that America prides itself on late-stage capitalism, which means the big boys, not the small french fries. So,
no kidding.
I don't understand why they're saying that they want to help small businesses, because obviously it's not going to happen.
No, it doesn't happen. It literally hasn't happened in ages. The last time there was a small business blowing up was around the dot-com bubble back in the 90s, where some assholes up in Seattle became the largest coffee chain on the planet. Some fucking how.
Now, they did mention our favorite COVID incident ever.
Oh, boy.
You ready for this, folks?
Go on.
The Paycheck Protection Program, also known as PPP.
Oh, you mean that one program that a shitload of these asshole politicians took advantage of?
70,000 PPP loans were potentially fraudulent, yes.
Yeah, I remember that horse shit. And how, yeah, no, that's actually something that these guys, that folks had actually done, including fucking some of the dirty politicians that are rolling in cash right now over here. Yeah, yes. Which represented more than half of the funds.
It's mainly, like, the ones who ended up getting them were not actual small businesses. They were people who were swimming in dough, but were able to actually just take the money. I do agree that they did say that they need to concentrate on getting full account of all of those fraudulent loans and actually having them be paid back. I do agree with that. Yes, they need to make these people realize they're not going to get away scot-free. Because that was just wrong.
And I'm trying to remember who was it. There was one politician who actually took out a heavy-ass PPP loan, and they took it out for themselves, and afterwards, they went ahead and shuttered their business and had the entire loan forgiven off.
Yeah, a lot of people have their loans forgiven like that. And I think if we can't get student debt forgiven, then why should we let these crooks get their shit forgiven?
I'm actually trying to remember. Let's see.
The name?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. that I'm not, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. It's, yeah. Yeah. It was, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene who fucking took out PPP loans in the middle of the pandemic, got it fucking written off, and pocketed the money.
That must be nice having that much money.
Right.
Free.
Isn't it so sweet?
Well, we actually work hard for our money. Now, they do say here they want to support small businesses rather than technological startups. I only scanned. I don't know. That's what they say. That was literally a copy and paste. They want to increase the Office of Advocacy's budget by at least 50%, which is $4.6 million.
Advocacy, yeah.
Yeah. They also want to direct federal agencies to comply with the Regulatory Flexibility Act, the RFA. And they say that religious entities should be eligible for small business loans.
What? No.
Yes, the Trump administration proposed a rule to remove the ineligibility because they violate the First Amendment. And yes, that was copy and paste.
What? Hold on, where the fuck I'm trying to find it now. In the fucking
just say violate the First Amendment, you should get it.
Okay, let me go in the fucking look, because I'm moving like, excuse me? Late the first...
Well, we all know that when they say religious entities, they mainly mean Christian churches.
Protestant
and
churches.
not synagogues, not anything else. Which, again, you can't pick and choose. If you say religious, you better mean everything.
Give me a moment. I just had it. Come on. Where'd it go? Hold on. I just fucking had it. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta re-find it. I hate when that happens. No, not that. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, and this is on page 754, 786 of the document. No, 786, asshole. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so let's see here. Violate the First Amendment. Let's see here. Eligibility of religious entities for small business association loans. Current SBA regulations and SBA Form 1971 make certain religious entities ineligible to participate in several SBA loan programs. The Trump administration proposed a rule that would remove the provisions on the ground that they violate the First Amendment. Subsequent Supreme Court decisions have made their unconstitutionality clearer. Oh my god, are you fucking serious, guys? Let's see. The SBA is advised to two such provisions violate first free exercise clause. Man, okay. So, let me take a look over here. The same religious eligibility worksheet, SBA 4 1971, make eligibility determinations for all affected programs, including the business loan programs. Thus, the SBA continues to act as though the unconstitutional regulations were still in place, and there's no establishment clause basis for doing so. The next administration should immediately notify Congress under 28 U.S. Code subsection 530D that it will not enforce these unconstitutional regulations, take down SBA 4 1971, and finalize the Trump administration's proposed rule or publish its own updated proposed rule to remove the unconstitutional regulations. I'm sorry, but if a religious organization is going to receive small business loans,
and they should be taxed as such.
You know what? You make an excellent point. Let's go ahead and give them all of that access. Let's go ahead and give them all the access to the SBA loans. Let's give them access to political contributions, and let's remove that altogether on the provision that they get taxed out the fucking nose if they want to participate.
Especially the mega churches.
Jesus Christ, Joel Osteen.
No one should be making millions upon millions of dollars.
To say nothing of the Church of Scientology. mind you.
That's
those
a whole
guys,
different story.
yeah, no, those motherfuckers, they shouldn't even exist as an actual religious institution, in my opinion. So if anyone's gonna try to fucking take advantage of this shit and get themselves some business loans and then get taxed out the ass, it ought to be them. Sure, let's start with those asses. Let's see how well everyone else likes it. Afterwards, in the instant the Church of Scientology gets taken down for every penny they're worth, every other religious institution within the United States will clamor together and say, "No, for the love of God, take it back! Take it back! We don't want none of that smoke!"
So you want to know the second smallest thing that I pretty much had technically 3 bullet points for, but they all pretty much mean the same?
What is that?
The fair trade.
The case for fair trade.
Basically, all in all, stop trading with China. That's literally everything in here. They want to expand tariffs to all China's products and increase rates to levels that will block out made in China products. They want to completely get rid of all your made in China products.
Well, I was gonna say.
Do you have any idea how many Trump hats and
technically made in China?
Yeah, pretty much everything's made in China now.
Do you have any idea?
Because, you know, outsourced.
All of those Trump hats were made in China, so those go bye-bye. And this is the fucking thing that I love. These fucking idiots, they're over here, they specifically like name other countries and their deficits in this thing. They have Taiwan, Ireland, Japan, Canada, Vietnam, Mexico, the European Union, and Communist China. It's not just China, but Communist China!
See, that's the interesting thing. I really don't think people actually understand how much of the stuff that we daily buy and consume is made in China.
Not by a goddamn country mile. There's no way.
And also, it's much harder to just say, let's stop trading with China. It's not something that can happen overnight. It's not something that is able to even be done in a few years either.
Not by a long shot. There's no way.
They say stop Communist China's abuse of the so-called de minimis exception, which allows it to evade the tariffs for products valued at less than $800. So yeah, they didn't have any tariffs paid on those Trump hats.
Well,
not even those golden shoes.
Yeah, no, those ugly ass golden Trump shoes. Fuck, those are gross.
So yeah, like I said, that was a small one. The last one, I have quite a bit of things because I actually did copy paste a few things because there was quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's the free trade.
All right.
So they did say that they want to implement tariff relief to help counteract inflation by reducing prices for effective goods, as well as strengthen supply chains and boost manufacturing, again, in America. They want to end Section 232, steel aluminum, 201, solar cells, and 301, certain Chinese products for tariffs. And yes, I did actually look all those up, so I know what they meant.
So
they also want to work with Congress to pass legislation, repealing those provisions so future presidents cannot abuse them.
But we need solar cells.
No, we don't. No,
yes, we do. We want energy independence.
Not important one. Not important. You know, little oil and fossil fuels. Smells like America.
Smells like America.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
They also want to create a successor to the World Trade Organization, assuming that has been fatally wounded. Literally their choice of words. Fatally wounded. That is open only, and this is a very interesting thing that I'm like, what the hell? Only open to liberal democracies.
Well, that counts us out.
That's what I didn't understand. Like, you guys constantly call out liberals, libertards, and honestly, you really don't want us to be a democracy at this point. So why is it open to liberal democracies? The choice of words was very strange.
It was very ironic.
They said it would prevent authoritarian countries like China from abusing the organization for their own ends, which, yes, I did look it up. China has been abusing the tariffs and the trades and everything.
Yeah.
And this is the funny thing that they ended up adding in, which I was dying of laughter. You remember the Trans-Pacific Partnership that President Donald Trump formally withdrew us from in January 2017?
Put us back in it.
This thing says we need to rejoin the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I find that very ironic considering he's the one who pulled us out.
He's the one that said that we didn't need to be in there.
Right.
Which, yes, we really should be in there.
Mm-hmm.
The Federal Reserve's research shows that the tariffs have cost about 75,000 manufacturing jobs for steel and created only about 1,000 jobs in the industry. I remember that going around before, and they ended up mentioning that in this portion. And who remembers the baby formula debacle back in COVID?
I remember.
Yep.
Yes. So I do agree with this that it's the free trade definitely is not working towards our favor because this actually did happen and it caused this. The tariff situation actually did cause the shortage. So in 2022, approximately 98% of the country's baby formula was produced domestically. So 98% of all the baby formula currently consumed here in America was made here.
Makes sense.
A bit concerning, and you'll see why. The reason why is because they have 17% tariffs to shut out imports. So no one wants to export to America because that costs so much, and it's not worth it for them because they don't make any profit. Now, with the foreign competition out of the way, other government policies help to concentrate almost the entire domestic formula industry into only 4 firms. Again, bad, because contamination entered a Michigan facility that makes about 40% of that formula. That is why we had the shortage. And of course, because of the tariffs, we could not import anything. So I do agree that does need to change. I know that, yes, we want more things to be produced in America, but if we only have so much in America and we no longer can get it from outside and this happens again, well, we're screwed. So
proper fucked.
I mean, God forbid if we lose all of the wheat here.
Yeesh.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah,
they want to repeal the Jones Act, which I do kind of agree on this aspect. I never heard of the Jones Act before, so I looked it up.
The Merchant Marine Act of 1920.
Traveling between the U.S. ports must be U.S. built, U.S. owned, and U.S. crewed. So because of those regulations, American-built ships cost 3 to 4 times more to build than foreign-built ships.
But then again,
there are only 92 ships. So anything being shipped on them is very expensive. And also, did you know? Yeah, they're very old to the point where even the U.S. Navy doesn't want to use them.
Ugh.
So yes, I do agree with that because they are super old, which means very expensive to upkeep. And they're all, again, they're archaic, so that means they don't go fast either. And they don't get updated that often. So yeah, I do agree with that.
You can't refit old ships like that in a reasonable amount of time, especially if those are the only ones running an operation. So the loss of any one of those ships would be nuts in terms of being able to continue our internal shipping commerce. Yeah, no. So I get the point of that, and I understand that. Like, you see what I mean when it comes to, like, they've got shit in here that makes sense, but they've also buried it under all their horrible shit. Like, you see,
that's almost like with all the legislations where they end up slipping something in there that is bad, but then they're like, oh, well, you have to approve it because you need this thing, so you have to give us something, and then we'll pass it. Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Which that actually leads us to the next point, which is pretty much that same thing, where they say that agreements should be only trade issues and they shouldn't have any other hijacked special interests and progressive ideologies who demand subsidies, carve-outs, and pretty much distorting labor and environmental standards that have nothing to do with trade. So basically, it's oh, well, you're putting this stuff in here. That's what they do anyways. So,
but...
And they say that trade agreements should lighten burdens, not create new ones by attempting to address non-trade issues. Okay, well, if you want to separate them, then actually do something with it instead of just saying,
that way, it's no longer a problem. That way, it's no longer something that you have to try to write into the agreement in order to make it worthwhile. Make it the standard, not the exception.
Yes. Now, this last one, which, yes, it's the last bullet point, and this is one I said in the chat where I'm not going to tell you guys, you're going to have to listen to it because, oh my gosh, and I did fact-checked it, and it's correct. So, they say it should be essential for a global free trade alliance to avoid the WTO's most serious problem, the exemptions from its rules that are granted to developing countries. Do you know who is considered a developing nation in the WTO?
Pray tell who?
And I call absolute bullshit on this, but it's freaking true. China.
What?
Let that sink in. Let that sink in for a minute.
According to the WTO, China is considered a developing nation?
Yes.
Motherfuckers have high-speed railways. They have fucking climate control systems where they suck in their smog of their fucking cities and they're fucking compressing those smogs into manufactured diamonds. And then they sell those diamonds in order to take care of their operation to clean the smog. Are you fucking kidding me? How the fuck are they considered developing?
As of 2023, they are still considered a developing nation. And that's, again, why I call bullshit, because they're not. Some portions of them, yes, could be considered. But you could also say that of America. Some other places in America, they're still developing because, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, we don't call them the sticks for nothing.
Yeah. And I do appreciate this portion. They do want to end that status and promote them to the status that we have, which is a developed country. Because that's also how they get, they get all the exemptions and everything. And they said China is an advanced manufacturing economy and should be treated as such, even if its political and legal institutions remain those of a developing nation. But they exploit that status to gain special privileges.
In order for them to be able to trade worldwide on a level that makes their shit cheaper and easier and more attractive to other nations.
Well, no, it doesn't make their stuff cheaper. It means they have to pay less in tariffs.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Make it cheaper in terms of lesser tariffs.
So yes, I do agree with this. If they literally hold most of the deficit for quite a few countries, then maybe we should reconsider their developing nation status, especially with how much stuff they pump out.
They literally do pump out a shitload of stuff. Like, you see what I mean? There's shit in here that you can actually make an argument for, but they bury it in so much horse shit and so much insane shit, like we should remove the MPs for the Marine Corps and fucking get rid of the National Weather Service and all that other dumbass nonsense, that you can't fucking, you can pick out shit in here and we can have a discussion on it and we can say, well, whether we should do it in an incremental fashion or an exponential fashion, or how should we do it,
just improve upon everything, restructure it properly, not to force your own agenda in there. Why do we have to be political about weather? Weather happens. Yes, climate change is a thing. Yes, it happens.
It is a real thing, but they don't want to admit to it.
It happens naturally. But yes, we have contributed to it speeding up.
Oh, but they don't want to admit to that.
That shouldn't be political.
It shouldn't be, but it is, apparently, because they're dumb.
It's environmental. Yeah, this is exactly why we suggested breaking it all up and having each of us take a certain portion, because if we all just try to read it by ourselves or make bullet points by ourselves, we would have
lost in the weeds.
We would have stopped. I would have stopped.
We would have gotten lost in the weeds. All of us would have been face melted.
Yes.
Oh,
and now I'm going to turn it over to Sis.
The Dragon Fang.
Because that ends my portion.
For my very, very short presentation.
Thank God.
Very short presentation.
Also, thank you to everyone who's still with us, because...
Seriously, guys, because this is a slog.
Yeah, you want to check the chat while she gets it ready?
Before we continue and pick up on the last section, let me check the chat. It's cool you found solutions, ones that came up with different races. Yeah, based in character. I'm going here. They felt America is getting soft, says Mr. Quake. Yeah, all right, I understand, but still, that's no freaking reason to require our children to go into it. Yeah, this is spoiler. Yep. I've been seeing Matthew Coburn. I've been seeing the ads about Trump wanting to make it where a president can do crimes and not getting arrested. Ads by Republicans. Yeah, idiots.
No.
To not allow that to happen. No one is fake news. Let's see. Republican ads to stop him from doing what? Sorry, I didn't finish before posting. Best gag ever. Oh, the Bard is the jerk since 2008. People are frustrated. Let's see here. Sound mind. The 1% borrow money for the Federal Reserve. They use the money to invest in stocks, short it, lose money, and not pay taxes. They actually profit in doing this, if that's my understanding is correct. That's if my understanding is correct. I think you're kind of right. Yeah, Starbucks, yeah, when I was mentioning the whole thing of coffee. Let's see here. Yeah, it's all quite frustrating. That's messed up. Joel Osteen's a motivational speaker. Joel Osteen's a minister, and he poses himself as a motivational speaker, but he runs a ministry. He runs a super church, a mega church, and he ought to be taxed out the nose because he's a freaking scam artist. Charles Stanley, I respect it. Let's see, OMG, that's all going to come to light. That's all happening right now. Just had to get it out. I remember old ads saying Trump stuff made in Bangladesh. So that smells like bullshit. Is central trade going to force them if they don't want to trade? Like, oh my God. Okay, I see what you mean. COVID definitely showing us where the power lies, pun intended. Yep, exactly. Let's see. Left and right is dry and rain. Let's see. Much love, Angel. Yep. Ads were Republicans against Trump who wanted to be legal to commit crimes. Right? Like, it's so fucking bizarre how he wants to fucking warp everything. Like, that's kind of one of the reasons why you had these multiple think tanks, these multiple conservative policy houses and different institutions, why they are basically saying they want Trump to follow this guideline, because he's so out of whack and he's such a crack job. They figure here is a step-by-step book. Just follow this book. Do the things in this book, and that is it.
You know, the funny thing is, he's not going to even read it. He's just going to say, okay, who do I have to give it to?
Yeah, seriously. The fucking moron doesn't even like anything more than like 2 pages long maximum. And as long as there's lots of charts and graphs where you can make shit and make sense.
Don't forget
all the pictures.
Yeah,
it just has to be pictures.
And don't forget, there was one White House aide who basically came out and saying, like, this guy doesn't read to read. He reads to see if it talks about him. And so you have to mention him.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to mention him over and over in order to keep his attention in the writing.
Basically, it's all about me. All about me. All about me, not about you.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Juan. Nothing's about you.
No,
it's about
him.
Me. Not you.
Jeez.
Only me.
Jesus Christ in heaven and earth, what a nut job. All right, let's go ahead and try to bring this home. Dragon Fang. Let me see. Oh, pretty pictures. I think Kelly Bundy reads more than him. Oh God, Matthew Coburn, that is so fucked. But also, yeah, you're right. Fucking hell.
Okay, let's talk about independent regulatory agencies, guys.
1 sec.
Yay! What the fuck?
Time. Yay!
I'm sorry, I fell asleep. What?
The most boring shit that you've ever read. I had to read this. Most of this shit is just mumbo jumbo technical bullshit.
It's textbooks.
Yeah. So, basically, independent regulatory agencies, basically these are independent commission agencies which are, federal, that were put into place by Congress with the president having limited control over them. By limited, I mean the president can elect candidates into those commissions, but once they're elected, they can't be removed by him. So if he hates someone that is already been elected, he can't go, "You don't like that," and remove them.
Which honestly
Physically can't.
Which honestly is actually a good thing.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is how you actually have people develop in those positions, in those different regulatory agencies, in order for them to gain more experience and be able to gain more connection and be able to have the staff and the team and the infrastructure within in order to operate these regulatory agencies, in order for them to function the best you can. But no, they want to say, like, no, we want to be able to make it so that the president can fire them. Am I right?
Yeah. No, he can't. He can bitch and moan as much as he wants. He can't remove them.
But they want to change that.
He's stuck with them. Yeah, they want to change that, but not going to happen. So one agency which is talked about not in here is the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, which was formed to oversee that these corporations aren't abusing their power in the marketplace of America. So during Trump's first administration, they said that the FCC not only wanted to put Huawei, which is a Chinese multinational digital communication technology corporation, on Huawei, on the covered entity list, which is a list that states corporations who are high risk to U.S. security.
Yeah, the one I talked about.
Also want to include TikTok as well, because it states that they are a serious and unacceptable risk to all of the citizens in the United States.
This is the second time that they've mentioned
So
TikTok.
Again, back to China.
Yeah,
China.
There's some shit that they have to, like, they absolutely must remove China from everything in America. Like, what?
But one, we don't talk about China. No.
We don't talk about China. No, like we've talked about this forever ago when the fucking guy who the head of TikTok, that they're like, "Oh, are you a member of the Chinese Communist Party? Are you part of the CCP?" It's insane. Shao Zichu. And he's like, "No, I'm from Singapore." How many fucking times did he say that in that congressional briefing?
So many.
Like, he said it so many times it was embarrassing. Like, do you have allegiance to China? Are you a member of China? Like, again,
I'm
from
a national
Singapore.
born citizen of Singapore. How many times do I have to say that?
Like, I'm freaking.
I have no relations to China whatsoever.
Like, the closest thing is that his family is ethnically Chinese, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking assholes. Like, okay, so yeah, seriously, address TikTok's threat to U.S. national security. There isn't a threat to national security. You want to know what it is? I was fine with removing them from federal employee devices. If it's like your work phone and you're working for the government, or if you're like an officer, or you're a part of the federal government, or if you're part of like the FBI or CIA or whatever, you don't want fucking social media apps on your phone. As a matter of fact, you want your phone to be like as dead bricked fucking access as possible, because you're operating for the fucking federal government. But no, these guys are specifically like, no, we want TikTok gone everywhere because China.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? There was so much fucking good stuff in the trade shit when we were talking about, okay, maybe we should update their status from developing nation to developed in order to with trade and terror. Like, there's shit in there, and then there's the ideological horse shit. Like, no, China bad. Make up your mind. Fuck, man, Jesse Eisenberg. Okay, so there's in the FCC. Oh, Jesus Christ. What else have we got there, Dragon Fang? Help me.
All right, so we have financial regulatory agencies.
Okay, financial.
Which is, the financial part. Yay! This administration wants to put into place an independent board of commissions to regulate and produce a detailed report on every regulatory organization, if they should remain self-regulatory or not. And if not, They should be delegated to the Security and Exchange Commission.
So
And I'm just like,
basically any type of financial regulation bureau, like for example, FDIC, for example,
oh,
they shouldn't run independently. They should just all be shoved over to the Security and
they
Exchange
need to
Commission.
be monitored.
Oh,
basically.
monitored. Oh, even better, because there's just
Yeah.
such a horrible
They
job.
need to make sure that they're not doing anything.
Or that,
Like
it's not against what they want.
yeah. It's like you need to be what I want you to be. You can't do this.
And
Like,
what about what's is there any mention in there? Because I know that they've talked about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in this section.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, folks, that is the one bureau of the federal government whose sole job is, okay, these customers have been defrauded by these companies. Let's investigate that and get these customers back their money. It had, until Donald Trump showed up back in 2016, it had actually successfully recuperated about $2 billion worth of fraudulently taken money, and recovered that and recuperated that and given it back to the American people. And it got just gutted when Donald Trump shows up. I'm only assuming that these guys want to take what's left of it and just throw it in a blender. Let me just take a look and see what happened here. Was there any mention of it in your bullet points there, Dragonfang?
Go over that, but there are so many things that they were spouting at me. I'm trying to pick which one would be the most the most talked
Impactful.
about. And
yeah.
Let's see. They have an entrepreneur capital formation where they wanted to simplify and streamline the Regulation A, which is small issues exemption, and Regulation CF, which is crowdfunding. And I'm like, okay. And they want to, let me see here. What was it? Where was it? Exempt small micro offerings from the registration requirements.
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah.
No, you're not
And
allowed.
exempt peer lending for federal and state security laws, and reduce the regulatory burden on their regulation CF debt securities. I'm writing off those little bullet points straight from the manual.
Yeah,
right
straight
here.
from their book over here. When you mention Regulation A, and when you mentioned that over here, you mean to tell me peer-to-peer lending? You mean to tell me this is basically, hey, here's a small business, here's another small business, here's a bit of cash in order to help you get your ways, and you can lend it back over at your convenience. Okay, that's fine. There are regulations in order to keep that above board. No, let's remove that. So if you need to slide somebody, off the top of my head, about $100,000 for hush money to somebody that you owe money to because you want their silence because they had sexual relations with you, but then you want all that protection and actual freaking coverage on there to be gone. So there's no regulatory burden. There's no debt securities. There's no way to track this shit. Again, devil's in the details, folks.
Yeah.
Either I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'd like to believe that I am, but this sort of reads to me, allow hush money between companies or between LLCs, between two people.
Oh, you're going to love this next one. Better capital markets.
Oh, you gotta be fucking serious. Let me see. Terminate
the Consolidated Audit Trail CAT program.
No.
Fun, right?
No.
Right? They want to terminate it. They also want to abolish Rule 144 and other regulations that restrict security resale, and instead require a company that has sold securities to provide sufficient current information to the market to permit reasonable investment decisions in secondary sales. That's a whole lot of words. Yeah.
That's a whole lot of words. Okay.
I fact checked it. Rule 144 provides an exemption and permits the public resale of restricted and controlled securities if a number of conditions are met. I've got this information from investors.gov.
So that was what?
So,
Rule 144.
Rule 144.
Securities Act. Let me see here. Regulation that enforces basically it's a small business stock exchange rule. It provides an exemption and permits the public resale of restricted or controlled securities. Yeah, like you said, of if a number of conditions are met, including how long the securities are held, the way in which they're sold, and the amount they can be sold for at any one time. So basically, this is meant to gut a regulation that allows for like resale of stock and securities of a corporation, but has to have different regulations met in order for them to be sold in a specific manner. Like, nope, just sell it all. So, more chaos in the stock market, because that's what we need.
Yep.
Fucking dorks.
And they also want to repeal the Dodd-Frank mandates.
Disclosures related to conflict minerals, mine safety, resource extraction, CEO pay ratios. You see what I mean? Like, look, this is exactly like, okay, this is basically saying that, we don't want any corporation that deals with the manufacture or extraction for material or the marketing or distribution of military-grade weaponry to be disclosed at all. And nor do we want the CEOs of those corporations to have their pay ratios compared to whoever else works under them to be disclosed either. So in other words, we want these big corporations who are in the arms business to be able to make in their money without having to tell anyone how much their money is made or where it comes from.
Yep.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like Congress needs to repeal it.
They need to repeal it.
Yeah.
They
and it's like,
don't.
Why? It's like, how would that better America? I was reading this and I was reading every single bullet point and I was like, okay, how is this gonna better America? It's gonna make everything worse.
Like, explain the way we've been explaining for the past near 3 hours. Yeah, we're going on 3 hours now. Explain in our fucking dumb regular person language how this shit materially helps Joe Schmo in I don't know, Idaho. You know, fucking, like, how does it help him? How does it help me? How does it help you? From what we're able to interpret and the way I'm reading that, again, I may be fucking stupid. I welcome a correction or an education if there's anyone who's got the balls to speak to us in plain English over it. Explain to us how allowing CEOs and arms manufacturers to keep their budgets and to keep their finances obscured, and explain how doing that is better for Americans. Please. I'll wait.
It's ridiculous.
There's no way. Unless there's something that I'm severely missing, or there's something that we can't make out in plain old English, I don't know what the fuck these guys are trying to do. I don't know what the fuck these guys are trying to say other than we want
They want to make it as difficult as possible for people to read, so then they don't understand what is going to happen.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I'm seeing Tam Tam in the chat over here. And let me see. They said the haves and the can't even hope to haves. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. This is for, like, not even haves and have-nots. It's for, like, this is basically to fucking let people know, like, by the way, fuck you. By the way, we're doing this for our people, for our buddies. Unbelievable.
There's quite a bit more in here, like SEC administration, CFTC administration, and you got digital assets. all of these are just, we want to change all of this. And it's ridiculous.
Now,
especially the regulations of the industry and SROs.
Yeah, no, there's no fucking way to get around that over here.
Yeah.
Let me see what else we need to look at here for this last bit.
I do have a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which basically says that they want to repeal Dodd-Frank Section 1071. The section is related to small business data collection, imposes requirements on financial institutions, lending to small firms, raising costs, and limiting small businesses' access to capital. I fact-checked that, and this was under axmanlaw.com. Under Dodd-Frank 1071, lenders must collect and disclose information regarding loan applications submitted by women-owned, minority-owned, or LGBTQI plus owned small businesses, including geographic and demographic data concerning principal owners, lending decisions, and the price of credit.
Can you share the link to me over in the group chat so I can? I don't know if you still have the link or if you had it.
Give me one moment. I have it. Give me a moment. Is that one? Yes.
No fucking way.
Give me a moment. I will share it to chat.
Yes, by all means, please.
Right there.
Okay, and that way I can pull it up for the folks to see as well. Yep. Axiomlaw.com. Let me just do that. So
I had to really search for this because there was a lot of other BS, and I was like, no, I need to get to like the meat.
Yeah. And this is where we're actually getting to it over here. So basically, in that one section where they want to actually remove that bit from Dodd-Frank in the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, they basically want to take this rule of Dodd-Frank and remove it
because they're saying that it's unconstitutional and highly damaging.
It's damaging to know whether or not if these financial institutions are lending to gay people and to women. How?
Yeah.
Explain how. I would like to know how.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way to justify this shit. There really isn't. Dear God, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I know,
and next your also favorite Federal Communication Commission.
Or possibly psychotic are the fellas at the freaking FCC. So what do they want to do?
Let's talk about the wonderful big tech corporations. They want to rein in the big tech corporations.
How? Eliminating immunities that courts added to Section 230. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to read ahead of you. Sorry about that.
So basically, the FCC, and I quote, the FCC has an important role to play in addressing threats to individual liberty posed by corporations that are abusing dominant positions in the market. Nowhere is that clear. Nowhere is that clear when it comes to the big tech in its attempts to drive diverse political views from the digital town square. I'm like, what the hell is this bullshit?
No, is that clear? Are you serious? Is that are we're supposed to have diverse political viewpoints?
Yeah, right? And if anyone doesn't know, because I fact checked this, the big techs, also known as the tech giants, and this is from emeritus.org, are the largest IT companies in the world. The concept of big tech is similar to grouping of dominant companies in other sectors. It generally includes the big five tech companies in the United States, which is Google, Amazon, Apple, Meta, and Microsoft.
Yep.
Google being the big one.
So Amazon, Apple, Meta, Google, and Microsoft. Yep. Those are pretty much the big five. They are big tech, but if I remember correctly, The big problem that we've got with them isn't that they're trying to drive the discussion of diversity in the town square.
That's what they're saying, Juan. That's what they're saying. Oh, they're the reason why they're driving the political viewpoints. No.
No, it's being driven because there are corporate incentivizations for being able to buy out the user and customer based data and sell it to I don't know, political action groups like the Heritage Foundation, the authors of this fucking document. What do I know?
Oh, and let's talk about TikTok again, guys.
Do we have to?
TikTok. As explained
God.
before, they want to address and potentially ban TikTok from the United States, even though there is, and everyone knows it. Well, not everyone knows this, but the word is being spread around that even though there's no security risk of any information being leaked due to the servers being contained in a secure location in the United States.
Not
so all the American people's data is in America. It's not in China.
It's not in China. It's not even in Singapore.
It's in America. It is in a secure location, and it's a closed system, not an open system. That's what these people don't get. It's a closed system. You literally have
China,
to
don't you know how China?
That location to hack into it. Even then, it's going to be difficult trying to get into that location.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm reading over here. As law enforcement officials have made clear, TikTok poses a serious and unacceptable risk to America's national security. No, it doesn't. It also provides Beijing with an opportunity to run a foreign influence campaign by determining the news and information that the app feeds to millions of Americans. Yeah, no, fuck that. It's if that inaction persists, or if the administration allows TikTok to continue to operate in the U.S., a new administration should ban the application on national security grounds. No, it shouldn't. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Because guess what? They want to promote national security, and by doing so, they need to get rid of all that.
All that terrible
that is being spread around in these.
All the terrible Chinese influence over here. Yeah. It's so horrible. For instance, this terrible and horrifying ad for the movie The Bike Riders, starring Austin Butler. That's such horrifying Chinese propaganda. Or this awesome dude who's live right now, who's doing lightsaber tricks. That's so communist. Or Shopify, the website where you could set up businesses that run on capitalism. Oh my God, it's so communistic of them.
Basically, the rest of it is ban China corporations from being in and operating around in the United States. Ban China. That's basically what they're saying. Ban China, ban China. And also ban stuff from Russia, Iran, Syria, and North Korea.
I didn't even know North Korea makes shit.
I know. But they're saying we need to ban all these people.
Like,
ban them.
Like, as far as that goes, I don't even know if North Korea even has any sort of export business to speak of, let alone having them actually fucking operate in any global scale. Which is impossible because they're sanctioned all to hell because they're the way they operate as a country. But I digress. What the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck? What is wrong with these idiots? And that's it, right?
Everything.
Or everything. That was it?
Okay.
Project Metal Music made his way into the chat. Hey, Project Metal Music, welcome to the Black Files. Oh my God! See, Tam, your brain hurts. We've been at this for 3 hours straight now.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, we don't have the middle section, section 3, which was the largest one. So we're probably gonna have to take care of that on a separate, like, bonus episode or whatever the fuck. Because, dear God, is this a problem?
All right, everyone's favorite topic.
Oh, no.
Federal Election Commission. Yay, election stuff, right?
Oh, is there something too woke about the Federal Election Commission? Is there a problem here with the FEC?
They're There's always a problem. What? Always a
No.
problem. Basically, what it boils down to in this is the section discusses whether the future president may or may not have control of the election purposes when appointing members into various departments and agencies once they're sworn into office. That's basically what it is.
So again, I want to be able to remove the career workers here, and I want to be able to put in the lackeys I like.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Basically, it's all about what the president can do when he's sworn into office. You know what? You know. Yeah. It just irritates me when I'm speaking about election stuff.
I know. I'm so sorry.
But
this is so fucked.
That's basically what that whole thing was, and thankfully that was a very, very short one, which is nice because I didn't like reading through it.
No,
And
I
then,
get you.
we have
That's it.
Federal Trade
Federal
Commission.
Trade Commission. The
Federal.
FTC.
Federation. My mind is switched on to Star Wars.
Star Trek. Or Star Wars, the Trade Federation. Ha.
So it's like Trade Federation. I read that back.
It's alright,
But yeah,
I understand.
all of this is basically reform. Need to reform everything.
So again, going back to gutting the people that are in who are working in it,
Antitrust
or
shouldn't even continue to exist.
we need to enforce antitrust.
It's a large, internet platforms that transform the U.S. economy, streamlining customer purchases, networking billions of people, and altering long-established business practices. Despite their enormous size, they have avoided significant antitrust liability or prosecution. The reasons for this is not clear. It may be because these platforms are incredibly innovative and have generated tremendous efficiencies from our society, with little to no evidence of traditional consumer harm in the form of higher prices, reduced output, or a lack of innovation. Also, Americans report a high level of satisfaction and trust regarding these companies.
No. We really don't.
Yeah.
Like, look, we're not allowing any motherfuckers to corner any one market on anything, ever. Like, we're not gonna have freaking single corporation running all the water in the world, or all the technology in the world, or all the computer manufacturing, but that's what these guys want. If they want to, should it even exist?
That's exactly what they want.
Idiots. Congress,
and they're saying, "Oh yeah, it's gonna this really, really needs to happen." It's like, no. Oh, and also everyone's favorite thing in the cosplay community and virtually everywhere, cancel culture.
Cancel culture, collusion, and commerce.
There was a mention of cancel culture.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, it's in big bold letters.
I could see it here. Like,
I had to do a double take when I read through that. I'm like, oh, okay. How did this get in here?
I am losing.
And then, of course, they have to talk about the internet again with protecting children online.
No, they don't. You don't want to protect children online. You don't even want to protect children when they're alive and born. You barely tolerate them when they're zygotes, motherfuckers.
This basically says, oh yeah, we need to make sure that children, that social media and other platforms are not, making them woke. And they're not getting their information from us. They're getting information from the social media. Therefore, no, that bad.
Oh my god, fuck that noise, man. Big tech
and
antitrust.
Honestly, if you create an account online, like, how Facebook has a age restriction.
Yeah.
Guess what? Most people do. If they're not old enough,
they'll lie about their... Yeah,
we just go up to the age of age that they want and go make account.
Exactly.
That's what people do. That's what people do. Unless the parent is sitting right next to them, they're going to do that.
Should have been watching them. Apparently, they ain't parents.
Yeah, and a quote from this Protecting Children Online is around 2012, American teens experienced a dramatic decline in wellness. Depression, self-harm, and suicide attempts and suicide all increased sharply amongst U.S. adolescents between 2011 and 2019, with similar trends worldwide.
Gee, I wonder what that's from.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we live in a freaking hellscape. Not particularly because of the social media that we're in. Yeah, no, there's fucking issues, and we've got fucking problems, and they're exacerbated when it comes to having aleatory relationships and parasocial relationships with people online. It feels disconnected when we're trying to interact with people in the physical world and in physical society. That really doesn't have, correlation ain't causation, baby. That's how that shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
Are these guys fucking for real?
That is it from me.
Oh my god, Dragon Fang.
This was a roller coaster.
Seriously was.
It was a massive roller coaster, and we didn't even get to section 3, which was the mass, which was 400 pages.
It was the bulk of this thing. We thought Angel could handle it, but he melted. I don't think I have to show that again.
Yup.
Oh my god. Okay.
He took one look at that and said, nope.
Nope, he just checked out from existence for a week. Let me take a look in the chat before I start getting us to wrap up. Let me take a look here. Let's see. Project Metal Music showing up. Yeah, what the fuck? Yep. If only my lightsabers work like a real one. Well, they do make that though. Yeah, I want that. Standards, anyone? Everyone should have a lightsaber. We need progress so bad, and look at all this mess. We got to be cleaned up. Your reform, not how this looks so far, though. Yeah. So you see what I mean with this maddening insanity in this Project 2025 book game plan. This book of theirs. This fucking document of despair is the best that I can fucking name it. I am so sorry that we all had to collectively suffer on this, but
it had to be said.
It had to be said, and it had to be done.
We had to cut deep into this to see what it was all about.
Because we
even if it knocked a few brain cells out of us, maybe like 90%.
Nah, I don't really need that many brain cells to function anyway, so I'll be okay.
One, you got one brain cell, and it's doing the cha-cha slide right now.
Yeah, that's true. Give it like 5 hours, and I'll have 2 brain cells. Wait a minute.
And maybe by the end of the month, you'll have like 10 again. More
like 20. So here's hoping. Oh my god, ladies. It's like fucking 1:15. I'm gonna wrap y'all up. Do you have any final thoughts, any final words here in regards to this?
This sucked reading. Even if I had the shortest one, it sucked reading because all the freaking technical mumbo jumbo and basically them repeating the same thing over and over again throughout.
Like half of their shit was just like, oh, let's cut people out so and let it be put in so that we can put our people in and fuck China. That's all that your section basically boiled down to. Jesus Christ. How fucking messed up is that? At least xeiana's had ones with, like, there's some commerce shit in there.
Variety.
Where we can
mine just had 2. I could have just narrowed it down to 2 bullet points.
I had China bad. I had, we should get rid of these. We should get rid of those. Oh, hey, look, TikTok. Oh, hey, China bad again. Oh, hey. Yeah, just get rid of everything.
This is so frustrating. I don't envy anyone who does this kind of shit for a living.
Or whoever actually reads the entire thing by themselves.
Oh god.
You are a pillar of strength. I fear for your mind and your brain, but I give props to you.
Yeah, your sanity, your well-being. We've like, if there's any
drink to you. We drink to you.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, here's the thing. Remember, we're still gonna have to do 3, and that's 400 pages. So we're not done with this yet.
Yep, we are not done.
We're not done with this yet at all. Oh my
and we are
god.
dragging Angel down with us.
Angel's gonna read some. He's going
Oh yeah.
to feel our.
He's going to feel our pain. We have
He's
to.
gonna go first. He's gonna go first.
Give him the fun portion.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
We need to read through and say, okay, which ones are we gonna have?
Which one is the worst one? Give it to Angel.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh my god, that's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be a wonderful little nightmare. I can see it now.
It's gonna be Nightmare Volume 2.
2.0.
Electric Boogaloo.
Coming next time.
For those of you who know,
Steven's Black Files.
yeah, like for those of you who know that we play Yu-Gi-Oh around here in our team, we're gonna have Angel. We're gonna play the spell card Share the Pain on him. See, tribute one monster, make your opponent tribute one monster for no effect. See? Share the fucking pain, man. No way. There's no fucking way he's getting out of this. Oh my god, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing.
He's just gonna complain. He's just gonna read a few bullet points and then just look at us going,
Do I really have to do this?
Yes!
This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Yes, you do, because you skipped out on us last week. Your face melted so we had to give you a medical excuse. Oh my god. I'm losing my fucking mind here, guys. What the fuck are we gonna do?
I mean, we're all mad here.
But, like, I'm
We're
not
all
just
mad
mad,
here.
I'm fucking angry. I'm legitimately angry at this fucking document and the idiots who fucking trying to put this up.
The next president will try and put this all into action.
If they're a conservative.
I fear that the middle and poor class are going to be completely demolished.
Well, and not only that, I fear for,
everyone's safety.
Well, I also fear for LGBTQ.
Everyone's safety.
We're all LGBTQ here, pretty much. Or, in the minorities who would also be affected by it. Or those who are disabled who, again, will be affected by it. And it's kind of scary that people are literally now, after hearing or even reading this, that they're actively looking at places that they, other countries that they can move to just in case. No one should ever have to be in this situation. They're like, I'm in danger. Where can I go? Will I have to drop everything?
Can I afford to go? That's the biggest problem for a lot of these people. Can I afford to go? Can I afford to escape?
Because no one wants to have their freedom literally taken from them.
Yeah, basically ripped.
We have fought so long and hard to get the freedom we have now, and to basically start to go backwards. It's a huge issue, and I don't understand why conservatives think that this is a good idea. I'm not saying all conservatives. There are some conservatives who actually do know that this is wrong.
That this is overreach like nobody's business. That this is overreach of the fucking highest order, which actually brings me to something over here, which is the crux of their argument for how they think they can get away with all of this bullshit. And it's something that's so fucking obscure, and it's so fucking annoying that I even have to talk about it, but here we fucking are. It's a legal practice that Republicans absolutely love called the unitary executive theory. And I'm going to explain that to you as simple and as stupid as I possibly can. The unitary executive theory is basically an interpretation of constitutional law that says, according to Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution, the executive power of the United States is only within the president and can be executed by him in any way he sees fit. So basically, There was one stupid fucking thing, and you'll remember, I don't know if anyone who actually followed this shit, what's his face fucking, when Donald Trump was running around, he was actually mentioning in his stupid ass way, he's like saying like, oh, well, there's this thing, I don't bring it up often, it's called Article 2, not everyone, not everyone knows about this. Article 2 basically says, I can do whatever I want. He's such a fucking moron in how he says this shit, but the problem is, the unitary executive theory is what his dumbass was referring to. So it's a really weird way of saying that, oh, because the executive power of the United States resides solely in the president, that means that he can break down any executive branch association or commission of the United States government and jumble it up however the fuck he wants. I'm boiling this down as stupid as I can so that we are all on the same page. And there are different ways that the unitary executive theory was used over the years. Let's see here. For example, where is the first usage of it? Okay. No, not that one. Oh, yeah, no. So those are different executions of it being expressed, but not actually implemented. Okay. See, also autocracy. Fucking seriously. Bush doctrine. Yep. So one way that it was used was during the George W. Bush administration for how he basically went around Congress and started the attack on Iraq. Yeah, in 2003. Basically saying that, oh, well, with a whole bunch of legal workarounds and shit, that's how he was able to get that going. See, the Bush administration, let's see, application of this legal doctrine has implication for the prosecution of the war on terror, the subsequent 2003 U.S. invasion of Iraq, the use of enhanced interrogation techniques in sites such as Guantanamo Bay and Abu Ghraib, and mass surveillance. These are highlighted within the narrative of a biographical film, in the biographical film Vice. Which was directed by Adam McKay. That was a movie where what's his face? Christian Bale played Dick Cheney. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yep.
They actually bring this up, and they brought it up one for one exactly how it was argued during the Bush administration, and Dick Cheney was the one behind all that shit. So there's an example. Basically, Project 2025 hinges upon basically saying we're going to take the unitary executive theory way of executing laws and putting things up, and we're going to put that shit on crack to make all this happen. That's what these motherfuckers want. They want to use a draconian fucking interpretation of the Constitution, a real bullshit interpretation, in case you hadn't figured it out by now, in order to dismantle institutions within the executive branch, in order to consolidate more power to the office of the president, in order for him to be able to do whatever the fuck he wants. They were calling it like, oh, we're tearing apart the deep state, and what they're really doing is they're getting rid of career government workers who have knowledge, who have expertise, who know better, and replacing them with toadies, with dick suckers, with dick writers. How does that make sense? How is that American?
Nope.
It's really not. Fucking hell. All right, I guess that's my last thoughts on all that shit as well. Oh my god, the chat. Let me take a look over here. Thank you to all of you, Ravens flock. Thank you to you, Lisa Boo. Have a good night there. He acts like nobody knows about it. Yeah, he's a fucking moron. Let me see here. Project Metal Music was also talking standards. Anyone? Yeah, no. And Mr. Quake is winding down, I guess. I don't know. So basically on my thoughts over here, and ladies, I'm pretty sure we could all agree, this cannot be allowed to pass. This game plan of theirs cannot be
This will not
allowed.
only affect the minorities, but also everyone in the United States. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican or even independent. It will affect everyone.
And it has to be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
It just has to.
Yep.
Like, the simplest way, as much as I hate it right now, folks, and believe me, I'm saying this shit with choking down so much bile and vitriol right now that I've got for this fucking moron. I can't believe it. They're making me have to vote for Joe Biden. Because it's either we have one doddering old asshole who is steadfast in his support of Israel while they're slaughtering Palestinian people there, or another doddering old asshole who wants to basically be Hitler. He wants to be a dictator. He says, "Oh, just for one day." It's never just for one day. That's exactly what that fucking moron said. It's never just for one day. And it cannot, under any circumstances, be allowed to happen. Not now, not ever. Just point blank, period.
Yep.
So, I'm pretty sure we're all in agreement with that this shit, we
Yep.
can't allow this Project 2025 to fucking go on. To see the light of day. Yeah, you're right, Lisa, but it comes down to lesser of two evils. I know!
Honestly,
It's basically a rock and a hard place.
this has been going on for quite a long time now, where you always have to vote for the lesser of two evils, and no matter what they promise you, stuff just does not get done because both sides are butting heads.
And to quote the Odyssey, you're in the rock. You're between a rock and a hard place. Which are you going to choose? Because they're both going to be bad outcomes, but which is the lesser of two evils?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Why is the best case scenario Joe Biden? God damn it, Bo Burnham, you motherfucker! He got it! They're really gonna make me vote for Joe Biden. Son of a bitch. At least we could probably fucking get his ass off of the fucking money train to Israel and get them to fucking cut the shit out over in Gaza. Maybe we could get that shit done. You know, if he was around for 4 years more. For God's sake. Vote Tremors as Burt Gummer or Parks and Rec's Ron Swanson. No, Ron Swanson, don't you remember? He wants to tear down the state government from the inside out. That's why he took that job, remember? He said so on purpose. He would like half of this shit, man. But he would do it and replace it with nothing. He would do it and replace it with absolutely nothing. And then he'll eat some poor girl's lunch just free because. I'm joking. No, he didn't do that. He just did that as an example of why he doesn't like taxes. Well, you guys can see we went through 3.5 hours of brain melting, and we're thankful to all of you for sticking with us. And you better believe we're going to get this shit done. And we're going to figure out Section 3, and we're going to keep you all posted one way or another. And this is popular culture shit because, unfortunately, we're in the middle of an election year. And we've got to fucking talk about this stuff at one point or another. Because, you know, even nerds, we don't live in a vacuum. You know, like anime nerds and, like, movie buffs, we don't live in a vacuum. We live in a society, and that society means we have to engage in politics in one way or another. So that means that we've got to discuss this shit at some point. Oh my god, but I promise you this, we're gonna keep our eyes open with this shit, and we're gonna do the best that we can to cover it right here on this show, the uncensored and uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock, The Black Files, hosted by yours truly, Juan Arauz, as we delve into the darker side of nerd culture, geek culture, and pop culture, and everything in between, and cut down to the truth of the matter. Be sure to request access as we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe or the follow button, ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all our content. Become an inner flocker by hitting the join button, and until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Kick.com/TheRavensFlock, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring the tiny little notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files. Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock. For Jose Casabona, xeiana, Rose Cosplay, and Dragon Fang Cosplay, I am Juan Arauz. This has been the Black Files, and we are out.